Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Well, hey there, kids. I am so sorry for that's the show's going to be good when I start off fucking apologizing, right? I had some technical difficulties. Many of you know I bought some fancy new audio equipment, and it's too fancy for Blake's Buzz. It didn't want to work so it worked. It's worked all week. I've done 2 shows live on it. I did some recording stuff on. I've been testing it out, but doing fun stuff. It worked fine until 10 minutes before tonight. Till 2 of my favorite people are going to come on the show, and I'm always excited to talk to them both. And anyways, we got it working. Obviously, here I am. Hi, hello. And I'm going to bring on these 2 awesome dudes, and we're going to talk about some, we may talk about some awesome comics. We'll see where the conversation takes us tonight. Anyways, without further ado, I've got a couple guys on Kickstarter right now. David Crispino, Tony Gregori. They've got Taft Sturgeon, Holiday in the Stars. Let's give them a nice round of applause and bring them out. Does that not sound like $500? Wow. Like that just sounds like $500.
Listen to that soundboard.
Yeah, production value. The production value of the show.
You guys didn't know we were in front of a live audience.
Yeah, I mean, that beginning crawl with all the buzz beat. I mean, I must not be paying attention. I don't know what hole that I've been in, but I'm having fun.
I remember when Blake started out, he was just like doing his little show, and now he's got production. He's got
I know, right? I got graphic guys. I got a production studio.
You were on a rocket to the fucking moon, brother.
Yeah, baby. Baby. That's how you get Brian Bendis on your show. Is nice. He does not come on shows unless you have fully realized and professional looking graphics. He told me
he demands applause, right?
Yeah. Like, I didn't even have the soundboard when he was on. No,
you have little sound effects too.
Yeah, I get. Hold on, what do I got? We got crickets. I haven't programmed all these. And then the record scratch.
Oh,
yes. Please tell me you have a fart sound.
I did, but I had to reset everything.
No,
so I don't
man,
have it anymore.
It's all about the air horn. Give me that. Give me that air horn, boy.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
God damn.
All right.
Anyway, that was
wow.
All right. Oh, Amelia's here.
We're leveling up over here at Blake's Buzz. Trying to do the thing. But anyways, guys, sorry for being late, everybody. But you know what? Good things are worth the wait. And Dave Crispino and Tony Gregori, which is spelled with an I, not a Y, by the way. Just so everybody out there knows it.
Gregory Hines. Gregory Hines. Killer on the dance floor. Tap dance. I tell you.
And running scared. Love it.
But yeah, I'm so happy to have both of you on the show. Tony was on not long ago, doing Pork Chop Robot Killer. So it was good to catch up with him. But yeah, I had so much fun, as Tony mentioned, like because you guys came on early, like both of you together came on earlier in the Blake's Buzz circle of life, I guess. And yeah, things are different now, right? Better audio, same bullshit, really. So I guess it's not that different.
Beautiful audio. I mean, that microphone, crisp tinder, like
right. It sounds good.
Right here, smooth.
Yeah.
I was listening to some other podcasts, and I heard how echoey and weird I was. I was so sad. Now I'm going to be echo. Well, I mean, you sound like you're in a room too. This is just you and I sound like
we're all in rooms, Dave.
But that nice microphone, man.
No, it makes it. I remember when I bought this, I was so scared. I've used like a big chunk of my tax return because this is like the pod mic that like everybody has, right? And all my friends were like, "You don't need a $400 microphone," and I was like, "I'm investing in myself." now I'm here. Now I'm here. Right. Speaking of here, we got some people that hanging out in the chat. We got to see. We got Pierre was in early, hoping to get buzzed tonight. Sorry we were late, bud. Ronan's coming in from Australia. Thanks for tuning in. Amelia, thanks for hanging out. And then Pierre is back in. Yeah. So yeah, we're here. We're here. We're happy. We're here to talk awesome comic books. It's December. It's the holiday season.
Amelia's a pal of mine. Fantastic artist.
Oh, really?
Getting their masters.
Nice.
Look to the future. Her and I may have something cooking soon.
Ooh. Watch out, Tony.
That's beautiful.
You're getting replaced live on Blake.
Hey, you know.
No. Don't say that.
Taft Volume 3 is no Tony.
He's in the credits, though. He'll be in the credits.
I'll be in the credits. That's all that matters. Oh yeah, Amelia says she can't wait. So that's exciting. Getting your master's an art degree in a master's program is no laughing matter. It's a lot of work. I dropped out of mine, but I like right at the end, like right when I started my thesis, I didn't mean to drop out. I planned on going back. I didn't realize that for some MFA programs, there's a timestamp on it. And if you don't finish in that allotted timestamp, you have to like start the program over. And so when I found that, when I was like talking about going back, they were like, well,
there's been too level.
Yeah. You would think they would just want your money. They would be like, yeah, cool. Like, we'll take more of your money. We'll give you this piece of paper. You'll be fucked and pay for it forever. Like, anyways.
I want you to have to go back and retake some of those classes so they can double dip on you. That's what it is.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I still learned the chat button. What happens if I do that?
Do what?
Click join the chat, connect your YouTube account.
Oh yeah, you can log in and hop in there and say hi to everybody. What's up, Illuminat? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so you guys are here to talk tonight about you're bringing back your boy, you're bringing back Taft Sturgeon, fresh and plump and full of holiday goodness for everybody.
Glistening.
Yeah, he's glistening. It was funny. I was reading because you guys keep reminding everybody that the Holiday in the Stars is an all ages, cosmic romp, right? And the volume 1 is not adult, right? But there's like you see Taft's ass a couple times, and then there's some
like
weird
there's somebody says shit in it.
Yeah, I think there's a shit. There's a son of a bitch, maybe, I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
But it was fun going back.
Big worm coming out of someone's butt.
There is a bit, a worm or a tail or some kind of growth.
Forgot about
you
the
don't want
worm
there.
in the butt.
Terse worms. We call them terse worms. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we all grew up differently. So what I think would be okay for a child is...
Hey, as long as there's no one smoking cigarettes, like right? If you could do the kids can like murder and eat babies, but as long as no kid picks up and like smokes a cigarette, then there's
no boobies in it either.
Yeah, no boob. Yeah, there's no boobs.
No areola.
Poor Taft. He deserves it. I mean,
everyone thinks sorry.
There might be Taft boobies.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, he deserves some loving. Like, if there was ever a call for sexy time in a comic, Taft deserves it.
All right.
After the third issue.
We tried to keep it like in that Holiday in the Stars, I feel like is an all ages book, and that's not to say that it's like juvenile or like for children.
Yeah.
But it's to say that like it's to say that all people of ages can enjoy it. Like you can, and Tony has said it several times before. Like he wants to share it with his relatives. I want to share it with my relatives, some of my younger like nieces and nephews or whatever, and like and we also wanted it to be a book that could be shared generationally. And I understand that like some of us are sharing like Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns and all that kind of stuff generationally. But this is, I feel like it's something that like the themes are not dark. It's not gritty. It's like it's all that like good like Superman-y feel good stuff that allows that I feel like kids, teens, adults need to like know that there's like stuff like that out there, because you know we've been inundated with that cynical sort of negativity and just like mass conflict, and it just always feels like there's a fight coming around, like just around the corner. And I feel like while Taft, there is conflict in Taft, I feel like there's stuff where it's like, you know, let's talk about it. Let's like figure it out together. Let's have a meeting of the minds instead of a meeting of the fists.
Nice. Yeah, and it's a good time of year for that kind of message too. Also, not just the holiday season, but you know, like the end of the year. You know, we're thinking about what we did, what we didn't do, how next year is going to be different. Like a little bit of positivity in that moment of weirdness and transition for all of us, I think is good, right? And it's tying it in with the holiday and the holiday spirit, and like Taft being there for the kids. I love how this volume 2 kicks off, and it's like some of our favorite people from volume 1 are there. We're working on. We got the team. There's like a team together now. Which I'm digging that. And yeah, just this. I like volume 1 did that too. Like Taft gets into some trouble that he could have avoided. But he gets into that trouble because he gives a shit, right? Like he's worried. Trouble. He's worried about these kids. He wants to see what's going on, and that's how volume 1, the first one shot started. Is he's literally like walks away from a job to go and follow a hunch and what he believes in. He's that kind of guy, and I feel like I like that the second volume is very similar in vibe of he's like getting involved with something that he may not necessarily need to be, like he could have walked away from, or like not answered the call and not gotten into that rich guy's fancy car. Right. But he did. And now that's going to lead him down. And I know both of you guys are good enough storytellers where like, I'm excited the road that he's going to follow. Right. I think there's going to be, it's not going to be what people think it is. I don't think this isn't going to be like your traditional holiday Christmas story. And I like that. I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to like hang out with the story that you guys have made. That's 140 pages. Like, like I get to spend time in the Crispino and Gregori, tapestry, this like sci-fi world that you guys have made. I'm excited to hear. What was that? Make me cry, brother. Oh, nice. That's the point. I haven't had anybody cry on my show yet.
I'm getting there. I've been having a rough day, and you're getting me there, though. You're getting me here with these kind words.
I'm glad you read it.
I've been having a rough day. I'm going to cry on this podcast. I'm going to do it. If that doesn't make you want to throw down some pledges,
throw down the pledges. I'm going to get these red eye.
Yeah, we'll cry. We'll cry on a the sturdy boys will cry. We will crumble.
We've got good backs, good shoulders.
Yeah, now that you're not
strong jaws,
fucked up from weightlifting anymore.
Yeah. Sadly,
you hurt yourself for a good long while.
Yeah, there was like 2-3 months there that I wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah,
and actually, Illuminat Tattoo, Brian, I ended up seeing him during that time period, and I was just like hobbling around, like,
oh really?
Over when Bob did his convention.
Oh, nice.
At the beginning of the year, and I ended up driving out there, and I was just like,
oh, you did make it?
I ended up staying in his basement. Katie and I stayed in his basement.
Oh, that's cool.
Family, Bob is great. Bob Franz is great.
Yeah, I love him and Kevin. Yeah, Skeeters came out today, actually. Yeah, it's a great book. They were on a couple weeks ago. Bob and Kevin were on, and they're just they were giving me shit too. They were like talking to Brian Bendis and then slumming it up with us, and I was like, whatever. I always remind them, like, first of all, I'll love them forever. But I was on another podcast. They were my first creator interview ever, like the first people I ever interviewed on a podcast. And then when I went solo and started my own deal, they were my first solo interview when I went by myself. And I was so like, I knew them, so I wasn't as nervous, but I was also like, what if I run out of shit to talk about? Which I've now over the last couple of years figured out is impossible.
You know, luckily you have Kevin there. You can never worry about dead air.
Right? Yeah.
Like Kevin Cook.
Yeah.
I love Kevin. My boy's a chatterbox.
I asked him, Tony, I was like, are you just stoked to be in the direct market because you don't have to eat a bunch of spicy shit for your Kickstarter campaign? And he was like, yeah, we're not doing that. And I was like, I still remember when Tony called you out and was just like, he just likes it. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's eating that shit anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's gonna eat those gross wings like by himself at night.
Yeah.
Whether the camera's on or
I mean,
not.
I do it too. Yeah, that's just like put on a show. And it's just like, nah, man.
That's what we gotta do. Yeah, let's get you guys some of those like those Pocky hot chips or whatever. You can eat them for Taft.
Yeah. If I have to, I will. Sure. I'm just gonna eat it. And I'm gonna just drink water and look at you.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's hot. All right.
If that's not the content that
Pledge.
you're not dying for, you know, just like I watched this live stream, no one said anything. There's just a bunch of sweaty white dudes looking at me.
There's steam blowing out of their ears.
They're all bright red and steamy and sweaty.
That sounds like a horrible show.
I know it sounds like one I put you guys on. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Bro, I thought oh, God damn it, Blake. Oh shit.
This is why people like coming on my show.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
Oh shit. But I almost sent it to you, Tony. Did you see the little clip of Tyreek when he hurt his hand and he's like on the sidelines and he's like pinching his fingers and he was like, yeah. I'm not gonna be able to play Fortnite later. And he's like all sad about it.
Yeah. Thankfully he's okay now.
I still love it. Like I still with the stuff that those guys do for money. And if they want to chase more money, I don't blame them. I still like it was awesome getting to like watch him play on Kansas City for years and like he dated a waitress I used to work with too for a while.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I got to like I actually met him and didn't realize who he was the first time I met him. I just thought I was like that's Grace's boyfriend. And then they were like, yeah, Grace is dating Tyreek Hill. And I was like, what? I was like, but yeah, it's I thought it was when the Germany game, like I thought when they showed him like go up to coach and say he loved him, so, you know, like he's good people and but yeah, it's he always makes like he's funny, he's talented, and he seems like a good dude. So like
David doesn't know nothing about sports.
It's like,
now if we start talking about wrestling, David would
yeah.
Hey, David,
just fuck that, Dave. We're going from football to gout, Dave. You're fucked up now.
Oh no! Come on now.
I still remember Dave being like, "What is this?" Like, yeah, I quit eating this because it has all the additives and stuff in it. Like,
Jesus.
You know, I haven't had a flare up in a really long time though, so that's cool.
Blake, I'm not gonna talk about it.
My feet are great. I mean, like I couldn't take pictures of them and sell them online, but my feet are doing pretty good. I'm just throwing it out there.
Excellent.
I got a couple good feet. I got a couple good feet out there.
Couple good feet, some good toes.
Good feet, toes, elbows, knees, and clothes. I was gonna say knees and hose. I didn't want to.
What are you sipping on there, Blake?
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
I got the tiny bottle of Woodford.
Oh, wow.
It's like bigger than your head. Tiny bottle.
If Woodford ever wants to sponsor Blake's Buzz, by the way, I'd love to.
I'd
love to drink your whiskey.
Have
for
the
free.
moonshine jug.
Yeah. No, I love it's fairly for like what it is. It's fairly cheap. That bottle
like
wasn't because it's huge, but you know.
Back in the drinking days, I was a bourbon and whiskey guy.
Yeah,
I like Woodford. I was
good.
a big Maker's Mark guy. I love Maker's Mark.
I like Makers too. Makers has they got a couple new cast ones out now. I want to. There's stuff I want to try, man, but it's like some of that stuff when it's like I don't want to spend $60 for a bottle, you know, and then it's like
you're losing Dave again. He doesn't drink, so now it's like we can only talk about things Dave's interested in, otherwise he'll zone out.
What was food? He got really excited when he was talking about food last night. I know that. It was
let me sleeve my magic cards. Let me grab some sleeves. You guys are to talk about whatever it is that you need to talk about.
I remember that too when I went and bought I bought a deck of magic cards a few months ago, wanting to try and get back into magic. It was real intimidating. And like Dave is just in my DMs, Tony, and he's like, you could get like another camera and like aim it at you. We could do like Blake's Buzz Magic the Gathering StreamYard nights. We could get like Comic Pro. And I was like, this sounds awesome, but like I don't understand this game at all.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there, and it'll be that. Because that's enough. People are streaming that now. They're streaming all that kind of stuff now,
dude. I mean, just like I was gonna get into it to like open booster packs. I see people post like do these little short videos like opening like Pokemon cards and shit. Yeah. Or like even at the risk of putting you to sleep again, but like even like NBA and NFL and sports cards and stuff. Like people just like open them. Like you want to talk about going to sleep? Like that's like and I still don't. I'm like, why does YouTube think I want to watch this? Like I watch video game stuff, comic book stuff, and cooking stuff.
Yeah, but that's all like fits into the thing because I watch my buddy Ibrahim Mustafa's videos. He does like
his toys. Oh my god,
his custom toys, and they're so sick. But then I get all these like prompts for all this other shit that's like pop culture stuff, and it's like, why do I care about like someone's diorama of like Carrie or like
because you liked Ibrahim's post.
The Stephen King diorama YouTube page.
Yeah, but then it starts going on. It's like some guy complaining about like comics and like the new Marvel movie, and it's like, why is this like? I don't even. Yeah.
And if there were more dudes and the girls' tits were bigger, this movie would be great.
It's nefarious, man. Because then you see how these young dudes get mixed up in that shit. Because they they just watch one thing and like, oh, what's this upset guy talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like Katie.
She's like, shut up, Dave.
Absolutely.
Can hear you snoring from the other room, you loud bear. You fucking.
I'm going to bed. Shut up.
Tired of you doing all these interviews for your comic book. Do your real job. Go cut down some trees and make some concrete slab walkways and waterfalls or whatever the hell you do out there in the woods.
All those things.
All the
walkway in a wall this week. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. Do you like it like now that it's like cooling off? Like is it different like working outside and when it starts to get cold and stuff? Because I feel like either extreme kind of sucks, like right? Either way.
Either extreme sucks, yes.
Yeah.
But the heat I think is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go through underwear, pants, shirts in a day, just constantly changing because I sweat so much.
Yeah, they just dissolve. Like, what do you do? Yeah. Like, what do you mean you go through them in a day? You're just like, you can't even wash them. Like, these are done.
Well, no, it just looks like I fell in a pool. And so I just basically walk around job sites just head to toe soaked, just like, what happened? Did you fall in something? Why do you look that way? It's like, I am just hot. But now it's just like
tiny person and it's warm.
I just wear bibs and a heavy jacket, and then if I get too hot, I just take a jacket off. But other than that, I'm good.
Do you work all year round, or do you guys like put a pause on jobs when it gets too cold?
We only put a pause when like somebody doesn't want us to work, but generally like you can take down trees in the cold. You can still like excavate and do brush work and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't do like more construction-y stuff because the ground ends up getting like frozen and materials get frozen and it's just it gets hard to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds tough. You don't want to, like the ground gets hard, you can break a nail or something real easy. You just get it, stub a toe or something on a shovel. All right. On that note, what a great segue into the Christmas narrative that you've all been dying for and didn't know it yet. No, I do want to show off some of these Kickstarter pages because I've said it before and I'll say it so many times in the future probably. Tony's one of my favorite artists. He's such a strong presence on the page, and he has. Like seeing him, like do like this stuff at Dark Horse and like even getting like to like the turtle stuff he's got to do and the Rick and Morty covers and some of this awesome jobs stuff. And it's you can tell he's into it.
Found out I'm going to be drawing a Rick and Morty comic.
Oh, you're good doing the insides?
Yeah, 20 pages of a special.
Oh shit!
Hell
you heard it here. It's exclusive to Blake.
Blake's Buzz exclusive.
Actually,
gonna be working on that for the next month or so.
Who's
drawing the 8? The current writer, I guess it's like a special. It's like a huge 100-some pager, and I got 20 pages in it. So
cool.
And right now I'm drawing a comic for Headlock Comics. Michael Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
He does wrestling comics. I'm drawing a story that's co-written by Powerhouse Hobbs about Powerhouse Hobbs, the AEW wrestler. So Powerhouse. Yeah.
How's it feel, Dick?
Nailed it.
I've been trying to get slowly back into wrestling. It's just like I don't have time for other hobbies is one part, but like Mario Candelaria, who's a comic writer, he's had me watch some, because I just found out recently like you can like watch the pay-per-views on like Peacock, and you can like just fire up the cock and watch it for free, and like because I remember as a kid like mowing lawns and shit to try and get
Thank you, Pierre.
$50 to $70 to give to my parents to order the pay-per-view, so like the WrestleManias and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not like that. It's not like that anymore. Yeah, this book is despite it being all ages, I'm just gonna come out and say it's festive as fuck, Pierre. And like we should put that as a pull quote.
There we go.
But yeah, it's I love this cover. It's a great cover. But I mean, just again, like all the detail and stuff like Tony puts into these pages is just very impressive. And the color, your guys' colorists and stuff too, and the letters look great.
Mendes.
This is Simon.
A good team.
This is Simon.
Yeah, because it was later on. You guys got the new colors, right? For later pages.
He works with Simon. Does like flats and stuff like that, and he's also a colorist himself. And Simon was doing stuff with Sean Gordon Murphy on some of that. Was it like Zorro stuff or was it White Knight stuff or something? So he got too busy. And he recommended Guillermo, and he's great. He's fantastic. So
nice. Does that ever freak you guys out? Like when someone new comes in on the project, like after you've been working on it for a hot minute like this, or
yeah.
So
it happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot, but it's okay. What you just have to remember. You just gotta take a step back. Let's see some test pages. Let's have a conversation. Let's get to know this person. Let's see if it works. And it works. Guillermo is great. Like I think he does killer work. Simon's great, does killer work, and I'm glad that we have them both like as teammates, collaborators. Excellent
Nice.
people. Excellent people. Talented people.
Yep.
Workhorses.
Very professional too.
Yeah, super professional. Can't say anything. I mean, I can just keep saying good stuff. Like I get pages every day, and they're just beautiful. Send them to Tony. Beautiful. It's always, this is fantastic, and it's only like stuff where we didn't give direction, or I didn't give direction, that we're just like, what do we think about this, and it ends, and like everyone's so open and communicative, and it's just a dream. It's just so wonderful. It's comics with this crew is great. There's no politicking, there's no bullshitting. It's just easy breezy beautiful cover girl.
Nice.
Speaking of easy breezy beautiful cover girl, here's Mrs. Claus, Layla Claus.
Yes.
Did you sell out of these already, Tony's sketch cards? Or you still got?
We did not. We still have the 3 up. We posted them yesterday. They're beautiful.
Because Layla's sold out pretty quick. I saw
Layla, my friend Mickey. Shout out to my friend Mickey who picked that up. And we still have Layla, Santa, and Gino, our buddy, as Cable in Cable cosplay.
I just love drawing people as Cable. I don't know why. I've got the bug.
Yeah.
So
Gino as Kenny.
And then you got the if you're any retailers out there checking this out, you can get a stack of Taft for your shop at a discounted rate. And then for you art collectors out there, you can get some cover art, some cool pages from Tony, as well as commissions on this campaign. And I as someone who owns a Gregori commission, like I got an 11x17 of this was one of the hardest decisions ever when I backed Dust Pirates and wanted your art. And then I was like Bob sent out the emails and he was like, hey, we need to know what you want Tony to draw. And then I got another email from Bob and he was like, hey, Blake, Tony needs to know what you want to draw. And I was like, shit. And I kept thinking, I just started getting into manga, and I had just gotten the Akira box set, and I was reading Akira for the first time. And I was just like, I was like, is this real? Like, it was taking me away in my own mind. Right. And I was like, okay. And at the time, Tony was drawing a lot of like warm up Ninja Turtle stuff and posting it. And I was liking his Ninja Turtle designs. And then I found out secretly that he knew he was going to do some stuff with IDW, but he told me, and he was like, you're not going to talk about this, are you? And I was like, no. I was like, are you about to start drawing Ninja Turtles? He was like, yeah. And, but anyway, so like the Turtles, Akira, and I like finally saw it, and I was like, oh, like an Akira homage, but it's Michelangelo like walking up to the turtle van. And I remember like when Tony posted it, and because he was like posting the commissions as he did it. And like, dude, that thing fucking blew up. Like everybody was retweeting it. Everybody was sharing it. They were like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I was like responding to everybody. And I was like, it's mine. I bought it. I was like, you can't get it. And then somebody took it and then like colored it and shared it. And the color, like that was my phone background for a while. But anyways, there's very, very, very worth the price of admission. Tony spends a lot of time on those commissions, and he's done this a lot. So like, it's going to get shipped to you the way you want good art to be. It's going to come safe and perfect and ready to frame. So I haven't
heard a complaint yet from a shipper, from someone I shipped to. So
nice. That's a good way to be.
Yeah, but local FedEx, man, they do it right. They're good.
Nice.
It's like a FedEx, but there's like, I go there so much to scan artwork. They know me by name, so it's like it's like a mom and pop FedEx almost.
Oh, cool.
So they make sure to take care of me.
Nice. Yeah. So I check out those tiers for art. You can get like very, very good prices at fair prices for art, and he's like different sizes, black and white colors, different options to choose from, as well as the backlog of stuff that Dave and Tony have. This Ancient Noise trade paperback I can't recommend enough. That the first time I had them on the show was for Ancient Noise. They came on to talk about that. I think it was issue 4, 5, and the trade wasn't out yet. I don't think. Maybe it was those trade. I don't remember.
So issue 3 and 4 was like a double Kickstarter, and then issue 5 in the trade paperback. That was another double.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it was like, yeah, we just had them done. So it was just like, let's do 3 and 4, and then like 5 in the trade paperback for the, it was just easier.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like one-stop shopping. If you're already here, you might as well get it.
Yeah. Work smarter, not harder.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ancient Noise is a lot of fun. I always wonder where that story would go next.
And we've been talking about it. We always keep talking about it. We're threatening more of that too.
Nice.
Yeah. Threatening more Ancient Noise.
Well, yeah, if you people would quit being fucking cowards and go out there and give these guys some money on Kickstarter.
Oh, snap. The big C word. I hear you, dog. I hear you.
You got to yell at them sometimes, David. You got to let them know. We had to do this for Pork Chop Robot Killer too. I was really mad. I was like, why isn't this funded? Like, this should be.
I think the common denominator is me. So I think it might be.
Oh, yeah. You're the one you're like, it's just me and my awesome art and great attitude.
No, maybe it's not so awesome. Maybe my attitude isn't so awesome. I don't know.
Maybe I got some shit I got to work on.
Maybe people don't like the Dolphins.
They might not. I mean, people hate winners. So
yeah, they do. They do.
I hate winters.
Kansas City hates winners so much we keep losing football games because we can't fucking catch football. Anyway, that's whatever. It's neither here nor there.
That's for the sports pod, Blake, that we're gonna do.
Yeah, which I will. I know sports that are important to me, Dave. It's like I love the Chiefs. I was raised in it. It was like I was raised in that culture. My family. On Sundays, the family comes over, my sister and brother-in-law, we have big dinners and we eat and everybody gets too high and we have like a nice Sunday. Right. And so it's more than football. It's like, it's a family deal, but I mean, I watch the games like sometimes if I don't have shit to do, but it's like when people start talking to me about like other sports teams or if people start talking about stats, I'm just like, no, like, I don't know what that means, but like, I like the Chiefs games. I watch the Chiefs, and I'm really invested in this Kelsey Taylor Swift scenario.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are you like a Swiftie now? Is that how that?
I kind of am. I hate it. I hate I hate it when like they show those like fucking cheese dick fucking TikTok videos and they're like it's like Kelsey and her like looking at each other and they're just so fucking in love and I'm like, why am I inspired by this? Like I am such a dork. But no, yeah, I love it. It was cool. Like her being at the games is crazy. Like she's in Kansas City a lot. Like it's weird, and it's not like I'm ever gonna hang out with her, like I do every now and then message Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and be like, you guys ever want to come on a local podcast? Like, I know you guys don't really care about comic books, but it sure would be cool to talk to some local legends. No one ever responds to me, but I keep hoping like one day, like I'll get like Kelce and then like Taylor Swift will like walk by the background, like while we're on like a fucking StreamYard meeting. Right. And then like
happened with Dave and his wife.
Yeah, just like she'll be like, you guys are laughing too much. I'm trying to sleep. I have a tour that starts tomorrow.
Be quiet, nerds. I gotta go make money.
And then right before she slams the door, I'm like, Taylor, will you say thanks for listening to Blake's Buzz Live? And then she like sings it, and then I get famous. And then I haven't thought about this a lot, but
I feel like you have.
Yeah, it's a story I've developed.
I feel like you've created a whole scenario.
Well, let us get in that wake, brother. When you're
yeah,
let us on them boogie boards.
You gotta write it. You gotta write it. But yeah, it's been fun watching all that, and especially when you're used to like having really shitty sports teams in this, like it wasn't until like a few years ago when things got different, and so we're still not used to that.
Yeah, I mean we had a nice summer and we had a nice baseball season. A lot of people love the Orioles this year.
The O's.
A lot of people love the O's out here, so they were going down to the game. There was a lot of crabs getting eaten. It's good. It was good. But yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, I understand. I come from a family who loved the Orioles, and then when we, they loved what is it? The Colts. And then when they left, everybody hated that. And then we got the Ravens, and then everybody loved the Ravens, and now they hate the Ravens, or they like the Ravens, whatever.
And you were like, now I buy Magic the Gathering cards. I can't do this shit.
It's like, Dad, I gotta get the Punisher comic. I gotta get Punisher War Journal. I gotta get my Marvel RPG TSR RPG box set. Like, and he's just like, why can't you just run out there with them boys? Why can't you just go run out there with them boys? Or just smack a ball, boy. Why don't you come on, boy? Be a catcher. You can be a catcher and an outfielder.
Look at you. You're big. You're husky.
That's a husky.
No one gets a scholarship for reading comic books, David.
No, nobody does that.
Unfortunately,
nobody makes a living off comics or video games.
Yeah, till they do.
Till they do, and you're 40 years old and you're sad because you've been told that you can't do that and you fucked up and you never.
But you got to go into the production side of it. That's where you just give up your dreams of being a creator and then go fucking learn how to like send orders to printers and run Kickstarter campaigns.
That's right.
Like no one wants to do that and they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's like Metal Ninja Studios, like the stuff like just like all the logo work and stuff we do and like dressing covers and stuff for clients. It's just like so many people don't know how to do stuff. And then like like pre-press, like before your book goes to print, and like how to make the PDF print ready files and check RGB, all this fucking weird shit that I never knew about till a couple months ago.
Yeah, I have that's why I have Rafer Roberts. Like nice. he was the person who does all the pre-production stuff, and most letterers do a lot of like that pre-production stuff. Like Taylor Esposito, like he knows how to do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like Taylor knows how to do a lot of shit. That guy
does. Yeah,
that guy's a leader in his field. Like he's
yes.
Because unfortunately, with letters, there's only a handful of names that typically. And he's one of them, and he's like one of the higher up names on those lists that most people know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he hard to get? Like, do you guys know him? Have you worked with him before?
He's on this book, man.
I know he's not. That's why I said, is he hard to get?
Well,
you hired him.
No. I was like, hey, man, we're going to do this holiday book. And he's like, I'm in. And I was like, sweet.
He's like, how
far along are you?
Work.
Yes. How far along are you? Why are you being so slow? Hey, man, I'm just trying to do it right, man. And he's like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joshing.
Yeah, we work with Taylor a lot. He lettered the War Students too for my Dark Horse book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I feel like he lettered some Ancient Noise too, like the last issue, and yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think he did some other stuff with us. Good dude.
He's a good egg.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys know him before, or have you just worked with him before?
I think he's like, for me, I just reached out to him.
Yeah, I think you've been doing this for over a decade now, and then like back in the day, I think a lot of you come up with the same people. So like, start doing this in like full time in like 2012, and then we're on Facebook, and that was back in the Facebook days. Even before then, like when I was doing it part time, you meet people like you're a creator trying to get by or trying to break in, and there's other creators, either colorists, letters, other artists, writers, and you all just end up following each other, and then everyone gets opportunities, and you end up working together through the years, and then you just kind of build, relationships. And
nice.
I don't know where I met Taylor. It's probably on Facebook back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
And then just this is where we are now,
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the days, the Facebook days.
I mean, it's still there, Tony.
I know. But it was more like I'm not, so it doesn't exist to me anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of mine.
I'm on there to talk to Dave, like basically, like because Dave's on there, but it's so weird, man. Because I have a Blake's Buzz page on Facebook, but more people are like following my personal account for some reason now than like the Blake's Buzz page, and I see like it'll be like you have mutual friends with like industry people, and so I'm like, okay, these are comic book people, and so like I used to just like say let everybody be friends, and then I started getting all these like can barely speak English messages, like buy my art, like, oh, your comic looks great, I could draw it. And I'm like, I'm not making a fucking comic book, you weirdo. Like, what is it? You know, like, so now I'm getting a lot of Facebook spam.
Blake, it's a bot.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not real.
I know.
It's not real. They're not real.
No.
I get those all the time.
Just ask me how it's feeling and then watch it.
David, one hit me up like repeatedly over the last like two to 3 weeks. I love your campaign. I want to collab. I'm like, well, you need to reach out to David Crispino.
Yeah,
he handles all that stuff.
And you know what I say? It's like, oh, you know what? I'd love it. Please pledge. Back our Kickstarter and share it with all your friends and family circles, please and thanks. And they're like, well, are you there still? I'm like, oh, I'm right here waiting for you to pledge. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Does Facebook still have a lot of like for comic stuff? Do you get a lot of traction there? Or is it...
I notice it. Like Facebook almost feels similar to Blue Sky right now, because it's like the people that are still on Facebook are just like comic book wandering folk, like trying to figure out where's a good place to post about comic books still, because it's because of the Twitter fuck up, right? And like so it feels like a similar place. Plus like family.
Going back, you know. Yeah, see, I got off because it was like he just like I see local people and it's like they're arguing with each other, and I was getting in like political arguments with people who live in my neighborhood, and it's like, what am I doing? Like, or just reading their stuff, and I was like starting to just feel bad about where I lived. And I was like, I don't need to know this much about these people.
Yeah,
what's going on in their lives.
I just mute motherfuckers.
That's
I'm sure they mute me because I'm like, buy my comics, but they're just like, I hate this person because they got different color skin.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, cool. Well,
I think about maybe going back and just doing like just for art, you know, just be a professional account and just keep it like that and just follow comic people and maybe go back into it, because like you're saying, Twitter is like this. You know, I don't know. I post art and no one gives a shit, and maybe no one gives a shit about me. Yeah. Well, it's like David loves it, and then Jimmy George loves it, and Blake loves it, and you know, all my sweet friends love it. But then
Mike Riley.
Yeah, Mike Riley loves it. But then it's like, I wonder, is that the only people who see it, or is it just no one else gives a shit? I have no idea.
I've been wondering the same thing. It's weird. Like I've been having a little bit of luck with TikTok. Like I've been doing a little bit more on TikTok. But I don't do as much on TikTok as I need to be successful at it, right? Because you're supposed to do like 1 or 2 videos a day, and then you know, I found that out about YouTube the other day too. They were like, oh yeah, you got to start like watching everybody's live streams, and I was like, dude, I do fucking like some nights I do 3 or 4 interviews like during the week, some weeks, right? And then I'm doing Metal Ninja Studio stuff and client work during the day, and it's like I can't watch 8 different live streams this week. You know, like,
brother. Yeah, you're fine.
It's just like, you know, like, fuck you guys, watch me. I don't want to watch you. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's other addicts trying to get you to be an addict with them. You know what I mean?
That's all you want.
That's really it. You know, that's what
the world tells you not to share the needle, but life's better when you share the needle, guys. They just find you a close group of folk to share that needle with and rejoice.
I suppose. Yeah, I guess that's what like social media is. I mean, it's, you know, it can be a bummer. It could be a real bummer. It can feel really isolating as well. And it can also feel like you're just shoveling shit. I like Substack for comic stuff.
I love Substack.
I do too.
I'm a big Substack fan.
I do too.
It's easy.
Tell Tony, take off the Agrarius hat. I told you, motherfucker. People don't like the Dolphins.
He's a Jets fan, dude. Joe Mulvey is a diehard Jets fan. He's miserable. He's praying for Aaron Rodgers to limp back onto that fucking piece of garbage field they have at MetLife.
All right, regardless of what anybody has to say about Joe Mulvey, I do want to say that he does love the show and he looks forward to it. So
he does.
They're good people in my book, Joe.
Joe's a great guy.
No, Joe's awesome. You know you're a good show when I had Joe on and I was 15 minutes late. I got the time zones confused. and I looked at my cell phone, and it's like Joe and Rich Duick and John Lees and like who else? It was Joe. Oh, and Alex Cormack. I had them like 2 Halloweens ago. We did this horror panel special.
Big shout out to Rich though. Big hugs to Rich.
Rich, yeah, Rich, yeah. I hope you and your family are doing okay, Rich. That shit sucks.
Is Rich okay? What happened?
His dad.
His father passed.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's hurting. But yeah, and you know, he came in. I look at my phone and there's all these messages from all these like comic creators that I really respect, and they're like, where are you?
You fool.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And so like I ran and like hopped on the live stream, and then I'm now seeing that I have a trend of this now. This is like how many live streams have I fucked up in my run?
Right. 15 minutes.
I don't know what
yeah.
Try 45 to an hour.
45 tonight, buddy. But yeah, everybody was really cool about it, and I apologized. And Joe goes, I have never seen such an alpha dog big dick maneuver before. Like, you just have all these comic pros sitting in a green room waiting for 15 minutes. Like, is this dude going to show up? Does he like us? I don't know. But yeah, that was a amazing episode. Super fun. Yeah, Joe's awesome. Great artist. Yeah, I know, you know, you guys came on tonight to talk, you know, about everybody else's books and Joe and
you're right.
All the different places that you can get on social media.
Get us on track.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk about, you know, Kickstarter marketing tonight. And I have another guest. I have another guest coming too.
I thought we were going to talk about the show.
Joseph's peak podcast. Yeah, it's just I do think we have peaked. It's unfortunately, sorry, it's all downhill from here. But no, so this has been a project that you guys have been working on for well over a year, right? Because you're
now over a year, because Tony and I were talking about it a couple days ago. I think you either probably heard it. We were probably on one of them there podcasts. But like we had it summer of last year, and then started scripting around Halloween, November. Tony he's like, I really want to start drawing it. And so November, December, we started cooking on some pages. Well over a year. Sorry to interrupt you. Yes.
You're not. It's your show, dude. I'm just here.
Well over a year. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to marketing. You know, I share Tony's artwork. I show the great stuff that all the collaborators that I end up working with. You know, whomever it is. Like I'm a huge fan of everyone I work with. I'm a huge fan of Tony's. But you know, Tony and I were talking today. You know, you can't lead people. You can lead a horse to water, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make him drink. And I don't know. You know, everybody, there's algorithms this, there's time of the year that, it's hard this, hard that. And then you know what you do? You end up scrolling through that motherfucking Kickstarter or that Zoop shit, and you just see success after success after success. You're just like, no, this is fun, this is fun, this is fun, this is fun, this is fun. It's like, it's not that. And sometimes it's just a harsh reality of like, perhaps disinterest, perhaps being a Dolphins fan, perhaps not liking sports, perhaps, you know, whatever it is. Tony and I just want to share our love, but people be like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? But why?
Yeah. Do you hate Christmas? Do you hate the holidays?
You hate the holidays? If you hate the holidays, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's about us loving you, because we love the holidays, so we love you.
I do think that there is like a faction of people who just don't like holidays. Like they think when you say holidays, they think like they can't handle earnestness. And I think for me, it just seems like the more earnest these days, the more earnest you are, the less people really are interested, or like want to see what it's about. So like if it's something that's a little more wholesome or like joyful or jolly even, unless it's something that they're completely familiar with, it might be a hard sell, like yeah. I can tweet or say a bunch of positive things and don't really get much attention, and I'll post something negative or complain about something or
Heidi McDonald was talking about that on Twitter today, where it's just like, can we just have people celebrate comics, or no? What? Yeah. Why do people have to just like fucking?
You got to have a hot take. You got to participate in that. You got to participate in that discourse, right? It's like everybody's status update or Twitter post or whatever has to basically be like fucking like your own clickbait now, or like it doesn't.
Yeah. Or like vague booking and stuff like that, like, and I mean, I see my memories. I see all my memories on my Facebook, because I still I still look at all this shit, whatever. And it's like, I can actually see me growing as an individual and where I started to where I am now. And it's just like, yeah, like I used to fucking complain a lot, or I used to like be vague about like how I felt about something, and reading it now, I'm like, I know exactly what I was going through at that point in time. But it's like, what was I actually adding to the world? And it's just like this negative fucking cynical bullshit. And like, when really I was like, I was passive aggressive and I wasn't communicating my feelings properly. And like now I try to have adult conversations with the people I love, and sometimes the people that I don't love, just so that like we can get past whatever miscommunication that we have. And I feel like these stories that Tony and I are telling, I mean, it is us, purging some of that negativity or going through whatever it is that that we're going through, and trying to be cathartic with it all. And like, yeah. And so now it's like, well, the only thing that I have to share with my friends and family is the work, is the artwork, or like maybe I chopped some wood today and I'm being a doof or whatever it is. And it just feels like it falls on deaf ears sometimes. Now, we could look at our past work and things like that and see the support and the love that we have. But sometimes it's like getting traction with this book with Taft. It's been tough, and it has felt heavy, because it's like we took it, we've spent better part of a year putting this great book. And that's not to say that nobody has done great work. I'm not shitting on anybody else. I'm just saying this is my experience. We have done great work, and Tony and I continue to do great work, and we've done great work together. And this is one of our best books. And this is like an ambitious book. This is my first graphic novel that I've ever written. And this is a fucking like love letter to like my father. And it's a love letter to John Candy. And it's a love letter to the feeling that I got with my family and friends during this time of the season. And also it's a story about like how the holidays also affect us negatively. Like it is an emotional spectrum. We have Heffensnorp, who's like, the mogul who puts all of his money and puts all of his time and effort and money into create like commodifying kindness, commodifying goodness, and creating robots so that he can get closer to like information and people, and like, because he himself is, probably lonely or something awful has happened to him in his past. But and then you have Taft, who's like genuine and kind and good, and he wants to do his best and sacrifice himself for the betterment of things. And that's what we're trying to accomplish with the story. And I feel like we did with that, with the help of our great team, and just being, again, honest with each other, honest with ourselves. Like this isn't, like you said, it's not your typical holiday story. This isn't about Christmas being saved. It's not about Santa being saved. Like those things exist beyond us. And these are ideas that I don't think that we could ever destroy, like, because it is a mythology, right? And so this is just it's a personal story about wild zany shit with the guise of wild zany shit, right? Like robot facsimiles and going to the North Pole, black holes, holiday hot rods, baby planets, Yeah, we're just trying to have fun, but we're also trying to tell you that we love you.
Nice.
And I mean, I think that's really what I want to do with my stories, is that I want to explore emotions and share. And yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, I think that for me personally, a lot of stuff I do is like maybe a little more crass or adult oriented. So it's nice to do something that is sweet and earnest and has heart, you know. Not saying those other things don't have like some sort of like emotional center of their own, but like this is clearly like earnest and it's like a positive story, and it just felt good to draw because it's like, you know, you live in your head all day and you were drawing darker or more like tawdry shit, and then it's like you kind of like, damn, can I just draw something nice or something sweet or something, you know, something that is wholesome, you know, not to be corny or cheesy or whatever, but it's like the older I get, the more it's like I want to do different things, and I don't want to just draw like giant like pink lions dicks or, you know, which is great. I would love, that was fun, but like I want to do other stuff. Where like if I'm drawing Rick and Morty, it's like, cool, I'm drawing these like licensed characters and they have to look like a certain thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to draw something that's a little more creatively adventurous and ambitious. So yeah. And yeah, you know, like David said, my family is no longer around. I don't really have much of a extended family anymore. I have like a sister that I speak to every once in a while, and that's pretty much it. Like cousins I run in, you know, touch base with every couple of months or so. But like for the most part, my family is my friends and the people who I've grown close to over the course of my life. So this is kind of like a hearken to my family, because I grew up in a household where my mother loved Christmas. Like Christmas was her favorite holiday. She went all out. They would have holiday parties for their friends. Some of my fondest memories as a child was like hanging out at their yearly Christmas party, like just trying to eat all the Doritos out of the bowl while they all the adults were having their fun, and
crock pot full of meatballs.
Meatballs. Yeah. All the fishes, everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brother.
So I mean, this is kind of like that, you know. Like we used to go all out with the decorations, and so I was like, it's nice to do something like this. It's like that's what the Christmas is to me. It's not like it's not a religious holiday to me. God bless the people who it is, but for me, it's a secular expression of like just joy and gratitude for the people around you and whatnot. So
yeah, and
this is kind of what this book is, but it's also like a sci-fi book that has crazy weird shit in it. It has like AI bots and aliens and elves and a Mr. like a I don't even know how to explain what Santa and Mrs. Claus are in this book, but they are like the typical Coca-Cola Santa, but it's also a little more alien than that, and especially Mrs. Claus. She has her own thing going on.
Yeah, David kind of told me. There's like some power cosmic kind of shit that you guys are playing with.
Shit. Yeah.
He has there's a whole scene in the book towards the middle, I think maybe, where like he's basically like taking the Christmas star and like crafting it or like hammering it to create energy to. I mean, it's just, you know, I won't spoil it.
You'll fuel, Daddy. You'll
fuel for the new Taft hot rod ship that anyway, that goes at the end of the story. But yeah, there's a whole thing where it's like Norse god type stuff and stuff.
Yeah, we did. Did a lot of like really fun research. Like I went and I tried to read like more like Nordic and Yule and like trying to like more mythology and just like the origins of Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and where all these how all of these like religions and I guess pagan rituals and things like that like all came together and influenced this and influenced that, and then we tried to throw it in the future and like, well, what would it look like to, you know, us in the future, and what would it look like to alien races who celebrate this kind of stuff? And because it's like it's not just an Earth like holiday, right? It's a holiday that's experienced throughout the cosmos as something different, but it is that like you know like it is like revolved around like a calendar, celestial events, right? it's a celestial event. And so that's where we're kind of pulling it from, and how the Christmas star is like this entity of kindness and goodwill, and how the clauses are like these beings who are, essentially like silver surfers. We'll call them silver surfer lights, heralds of goodwill, right? Goodwill and kindness, presence, and illumination, fire. Wow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like, how could you not know what
folk sci-fi? I was throwing that around at Tony. I was like, folk sci-fi. I don't know what the fuck that means, but feel it.
You know what we came up with that was just right there that for us to grab at it was Uncle Buck Rogers, and we never for Taft to describe Taft. We're like, how do you describe Taft? And it's just like one day we're like, oh, Uncle Buck Rogers. That's essentially what he is. He's like,
he's that. Tony's killed it with that.
I did. Yeah, pat myself on the back for that.
What made you guys want to go, like, you both kind of mentioned that you're exploring, like, some family tradition, some things you miss, and still those strong holiday moments, right, with friends and the people we're close to now, and like what that means to us individually. So you guys, you're exploring that, right, which is very much like centered in the now and centered within you, but you've also like gone past tradition, right, into these like other cultures and other moments in history, and how you're researching like these Yuletide events, right? Like what made you want to, was it like that exploration of self and like your own memory that like led you down this like alternate history path? Like what made you want to like expand the common knowledge mythos around like these holiday times? Because you guys went, I mean, part of it I get, right? You can't tell, it has to be different. You can't tell the same Christmas story.
This takes place in like this universe that we've created with these alien creatures, and so to me it's be like, well, they don't, if you want to say it's like when the day that Jesus was born, well, someone lives on Nebulon 5 doesn't believe in
Alpha
Jesus.
Centauri.
Like what do they know about like that? So it's like you kind of have to like take all of it. And I feel like even like with religions, I'm not a religious person, so if you read them all, there's all like, I feel like there's kernels of like, I don't want to say truth, but maybe truth in all of them, and like some kernel of like earnestness and like a universal truth in all of it. Even though they all have different like deities and different.
They all love money, no matter what religion.
Well, I don't mean the churches. I don't mean the organizers. I mean the actual book themselves. So if you pick up the Torah, the Quran, or Bible, those are all like I always view it all as like it's like Batman, right? So Batman gets rebooted for every generation. So you get your Adam West Batman, you get your Michael Keaton Batman, you get your Christian Bales, you get your the Twilight Kid, his Batman, right? But it's all the Batman story, but just with a different type of Batman. So to me, all these figures, all these messianic figures,
different publishing houses,
a different region. So what's our market? Who are we marketing this religion to? And all right, well now we got to find our Jesus or our Abraham or our whatever the
Who's the Batnips of religion?
Xenu.
Yeah, I mean, I with reading, I was like reading all those books. I was reading all these different books, of course, like classics like Christmas Carol and things like that. And then there's the one that's like the history of Santa Claus, done by the name is escaping me. He's a Midwestern man who was a reporter and a journalist, and he tried to tell the origins of Santa Claus and Saint Nicholas and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, it was very, I mean, it was leaning, of course it was leaning Christian heavy, but there was like a lot of like wild figures like Napoleon and stuff like that were like brought there to, he had this like really cool take on like some of these historical figures ended up like joining Santa Claus, and like there he was even doing like time dilation and all this kind of fun stuff. And I thought that was cool. Nice. And plus, and like I borrowed Layla Claus from there as well. Like Layla was the name of the woman who Santa like ended up marrying. But also shout out to Layla Del Duca, because she's kind of like Tony and I's comic book mom. She brought us together. Matchmaker. We'll call her a matchmaker.
Yeah.
Layla, a matchmaker.
Nice.
And so it's kind of shout out to that. But I was also listening to the book Sapiens, and it's a anthropological book going through most of human society and like what drives us and this, that, and the other. And and listening to the Odyssey and the Iliad, and just taking like what was inspiring me with Taft and like all the science fiction serials and Calvin and Hobbes, Spaceman Spiff, like, you know, like Tony said, like Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and all that kind of stuff. And just kind of putting it all together and like trying to feel like, well, what is this? What is this world? What is this universe? And that's really what it came out to be. It was just like, it's a universe, you know, it's a universe that if it was to experience a holiday, like I was saying earlier, like, you know, it's a cosmic event. And like, so what's at the center of a universe, or like, what is like consciousness? And then I started getting into consciousness, and I started thinking about like what, you know, the theory of like how a universe experiences itself, or and like how it created us as being, you know what I mean? So it could, you know, that's a whole fucking theory anyway. But so what were these cosmic
I thought
abstracts?
we were created like 6,000 years ago. My guy.
Is that what they teach you in
Yes, so the Wine and Comics pairing show. Oh, the Wine and Comics pairing show. Isn't that who we're supposed to be?
I did, yeah. That's you guys.
So yes, fundamentally, yes, you are correct. That you were saying that more eloquently,
yeah.
Than I. But yes, and so yeah, so and then I started. You know, we're inspired by Jack Kirby, of course. So all the Marvel and DC like cosmic abstracts that they have, like Eternity and Galactus, and then the New Gods, and like all this and all that. And then I started just like thinking about like a Yuletide pantheon. I started thinking about the Christmas star. What did that mean? And it's just like, what if that is just like this amorphous cosmic representation of kindness and goodwill? And then it's like, well, how does it actually experience itself and spread that? Well, it creates these beings like the Clauses, or it like takes, you know, it takes mortals and it imbues them with power so that they can represent this goodwill and this kindness for all species of the universe. That is also, of course, a representation of the universe, and yada, 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 yada. And that's what we were doing.
You're about to like change fucking Christmas for like anybody who reads this graphic novel.
I don't think so, but I hope so. It changed for me. It's fundamentally changed for me because of like the research that I've done and the feelings that I've had, and the, you know, whatever knowledge and fucking bullshit wisdom that I think that I'm hawking here. But it's like, yeah, like, what do presents represent? What does, you know, Yuletide represent? What do lights represent? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you start getting into that kind of like minutia and weird shit. And so that's what I was trying to do. But I was trying to do it with Tony in a very like subtle way. So it's not just like me being like, here's my theory about this fucking Taft Christmas. This is where the universe he lives in. So it's very, you know, it's very like.
Also, like, you know, there's people who might be religious who want to read the book, and you don't offend them and be like, hey,
I don't.
Whatever you happen to anybody. Yeah, whatever you happen to believe in isn't real. Hey, no one
right.
Yeah. What do I know? Like, what does David know?
That's exactly right.
You know?
And so that's the other thing. So, you know, of course, the emotionally charged Christmas argument that we have every year as well. I mean, it's in the book as well. It's in the book too, right? Like, there is that conflict where it's like, you know, the ideals just conflict, and what else can you do? But sometimes you just have to fucking walk away. And sadly, that's a part of the holiday season as well. Like, people grow and they change, and
I don't grow. I don't change.
Yeah, just saying. I get an intro music and better graphics. I'm still fucking.
People grow and people change.
Yeah.
And
I used to be a piece of shit.
A huge piece of shit. Slick back hair, sloppy steak.
Travani's,
yeah, man. So
slap them up, boys.
So that's where we're going with it, right? It's like we're trying to tell our kind of idea.
I love
how
everybody. Far you've gone, like down the rabbit hole, and like it's kind of like this experimental narrative. It was funny though, because like because you guys have been pushing this lately. You really want people to know that this is an all ages narrative. This is meant for like families, like a family could enjoy it together, or like for people that watch my show. Like I know a lot of kids don't watch my show. If you do, sorry, I'm teaching your kids terrible things. But like if a lot of my
yeah, and he brings it out of me too.
But a lot of like my viewers like have kids or dads or moms, right? And it's like learning about these comics, like buy for the family. But when you were talking about some of this stuff, I'm like imagining like grade school me reading this like Christmas comic, and it's like, yes, Santa, oh, comics, cool, so cool, I love this art. And then like halfway into it, you're just like, the crushing weight of existence is too much.
I don't think we get that.
That's what I meant when I was like, no, we try to do it.
We keep it chill. We keep it chill, right?
Taft always keeps it chill. Taft doesn't. If you want dark, like endless despair, you can check out Malediction of Maxwell Fitzsimmons or something like that we've done. We've definitely done that. But this is more upbeat. Taft is definitely, I don't know, Christmas stories to me, because when we were talking about creating this, we always had in mind what people expect out of a Christmas story.
Yeah, you got the tropes, you got the punch list, right?
You got to hit the beats, and I feel like you have to. I just feel like that's kind of like if you're telling a Batman story, back to the Batman analogy, you have to hit the beats of the Batman story that everyone wants to see, right? To have a successful Batman story. So like,
fuck that, like, karate.
I'm aching right now too, so I'm like, feel like going on over here. Hi-yo! But we try to hit those beats and keep it like that, and keep it light though, because it is a Christmas story, and we didn't want to tell, like, I know there's all different types of Christmas content right now, Christmas movie stories, and there's a lot of adult, like raunchy, stuff like Night Before with Seth Rogen, or if you want, there's always like that Netflix movie that will come out every year that's like the R-rated Christmas movie, or it's like Santa's a fucking badass with a machine gun, and that's
the new one, right? It's just like Santa fucks and Santa kills kids. Like, let's go.
Hey, that's cool if that's what you want to, if that's what you want to watch. If you're like 13 years old and you think that's cool.
I'm not into
cool.
that.
I came here to eat cookies and fuck your wife, but I'm all out of cookies, kids. Like,
you know what?
That sick nog, that mommy nog.
But then there's Krampus, right?
Nog. Right.
There's Krampus is great. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that in a while. It is a good movie.
It's great. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think there's room for all of it. I don't think either of us, David or I, wanted to tell that story. That sort of story. We wanted to keep it like earnest and jolly and like full of the Christmas spirit. Like, cause like for me, it's like I always go, my go-tos are like the Charlie Brown holiday specials every year. So I watch the Halloween one. I watch the Christmas one. Those are like, I love that. That is Christmas, or that is Halloween to me, is like Charlie Brown stuff. Cause I feel like, essentially it is for kind of children.
I drive around with that soundtrack. So I do. It's not like,
I don't doubt. I believe you, David.
I'm not. It's gonna be in my head forever now. God damn it. No, I'm the same. Like it's every year. Like I think it's watching it with people too, like watching it with the family and stuff though. But it's just like we've seen it so many times now throughout the years. It's like every story beat, every scene, but it still holds that magic. It still makes you feel good to watch it. You know, and it's just like
there's nostalgia, right? It's a bit of nostalgia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Charlie Brown's the man. He's always going to be the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
I love Charlie Brown. He's the best.
Life's always going to pull that football out.
It really is.
Toads my goats.
And it gets you ready. It gets you ready for it. Much like
all of us here are here to tell you that that's real.
And you can read Taft Sturgeon this holiday and see how real it is in regards to what it weighs on your psyche and your how you navigate the universe. No,
it's not true. That is not true.
No, it's not. There's a lot of themes and stuff in it, and like I said, like the research does sing through, but it's fun. It's fun comic books. There's a lot of charm. The love that both of these guys like have for each other, of the holiday, of tradition, and of the comic book medium is there panel to panel. Very easy to see. Do you do that, Dave? Like, do you nerd out like you did with this, like in some of your other projects in regards to like research and stuff? Like I'm thinking, like especially Ancient Noise, like kind of warrants a lot of like research and exploration into time travel and like that kind of storytelling, like where you don't go from like A to B anymore. Sometimes you go from A to D to C to E. And it's not when you take like the linear aspect out of it, but like some of the other projects you've done with or without each other, like did this story bring something special out of you to warrant the kind of philosophical exploration you did, or is that kind of normal for you in some of your other projects?
I think it's kind of normal. I mean, I think it's kind of normal for me. I think I just like lean in a direction, right? Like, so it's like I'm already kind of like picking and choosing, like, what am I reading next, or what am I listening to next, or what do I want to know about next? And and then something like this happens, and I'm like, okay, well, what if I take all that shit that I've read and feel like I understand at some point in time, and start bending it in the genre direction, if that makes sense, right? Of holiday shit, because like like I said, reading like Christmas Carol, there's like a big Bill Sienkiewicz Christmas story. What is it called? Santa, My Life and Times.
Really?
Bill Sienkiewicz did the art on, and I can't read who wrote it. I think it was Santa Claus. But yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like I was going through holiday books that I thought were cool, and then just trying to like get fucking weird with it.
Nice.
But
does he ever get too weird, Tony? Do you ever have to like reel him in and be like, Dave, dude?
I think I'm pretty tame.
No, David. Yeah, we've worked so much together that we have a shorthand now. So it's
okay.
David. What's that?
There's a lot of Philip K. Dick kind of feeling in Ancient Noise for me. Like, I kind of like, I was getting like Black Iron Prison type feelings. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Tony. Talk about it.
I was gonna say he doesn't ever get too weird for me. Like I work with a lot of weirdos, so
not even necessarily too weird. Just like I just didn't know. Like just like you're like, dude, I don't. How do I convey the philosophical meaning of this? Like,
well, I think
how do I do this?
Yeah, the first time that ever really was like a discussion we had to have is in Ancient Noise. There was a two-page spread where it's like the craft goes through this wormhole, and the show goes through different moments in time and different variations and the quadrants and all the. And the script was just like all this language and fruitful language, and I'm like, what does this even mean? I'm like, David, what do you want me to do here? And then we sat down in a conversation, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh, this is what he wants. And then from that point on, it's kind of been like pretty. Like is
that the big splash page that's like segmented with the ship?
Yeah.
So like once that I cracked that code, and I was like, oh, now I know. I see what he's thinking and what's going on in his.
I try to so we have like Tony said, we have a shorthand, and so it'll just be like, this fucking happens. But I'll have a panel description, and it'll be like colorful to try to evoke those feelings from Tony too. Like you said, and I'll try to be like, and this and the bombast and the butts and the this and it's a glistening with a holiday cheer, zoom zam, and it's just like, hopefully that fucking makes him excited, and then I'll be like, then this fucking happens. That happens. I don't know. Do a walkie-talkie scene, because this is all the bullshit that I want to say here.
Well, sometimes it's like you lift each other up.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you lift each other up. So some days he might not be feeling it. He'd be like, "Yeah, I really can't." He's like, "I can't crack this code, or I'm not able to figure this out." And I'll look at it, and we'll get on the phone, and we'll figure it out, and we'll chop it up, and the two of us together will put both of our little brains together, and we'll figure out the solution. And there's some days where I'm not feeling it. I'm like, Dave, I'm burnt out or whatever. I'm like, I don't know what this is. And Dave's like, no, this is what I'm talking about. And he'll show me a reference or something. And he's like, this is what I mean. Or somebody did this in the Grant Morrison book back then, and try something like this. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, and I'll do that. And so that's like thing. Yeah, I mean, that's like, to me, that's like the funnest part about collaboration is when you're working with somebody who you trust and you care about and you know each other. You're just you both are just trying to make a good book. And it's like and that's the thing about independent comics you don't really get when you work with like a publisher where you have an editor who's you don't even talk to the writer. It's like you're just dealing with the editor all the time. So like you can't just call up the writer like, hey, what did you mean by this? It's like
that feels weird to me. That feels weird to me.
That would be weird. That kind of makes sense though, because now that makes sense when like so many like direct market comic book people talk about stuff and they're always like, we have the best editors, and it's like, oh, because that's the only fucking person you ever talk to.
A lot of times, yeah. Depends. I mean, it all depends on the creative team. Like sometimes I'm sure like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo chat on the phone.
Oh yeah,
but like,
yeah.
But like but then like I'll do a thing and I'll never even speak to the writer and even know them. And I'll be like, I don't know them. Like I might be working on a graphic novel for a public figure that I'm developing, and it's still kind of up in the air. But like through the last 2 months, I've been developing it, and then like I haven't talked to this individual one time. I've just talked to like an editor. And,
oh wow!
And they don't even talk to the person; they're talking to an agent. So it's like,
that's weird. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. Unless I was the writer and I was like, I'm so important, I don't have to talk to like anybody I don't.
Well, in this situation, I talked to the writer because the writers aren't the public figure. It's like a public figure who's working with writers.
Oh, okay.
Story. So I'll talk to the writers, but mainly it's the editor who I interact with.
Okay.
And like I've done but then I did Ninja Turtles, and I'm good friends with Sophie Campbell. So like if I had a question, I could just text her or DM her, and we chat. Like we watch movies together in a group every night. So I'll just be like, hey,
nice.
what the heck? What do you mean by this? So it's like it's easy to but I'm also dealing with the editor in this IDW. So, but yeah, if you like a lot of these direct market books, they never even speak to the writer, or like even like some of the smaller independent books, like you'll see a writer, like an artist working with somebody like Matt Kent or somebody, and he'll never even have a conversation with Matt Kent at all. They'll just be like, they get the script and the editor gives it to them, and they relay messages through the editor.
That's like I mean, I get it. Part of me gets it, but also that's one of the things that makes comic books magical is I mean, I know you're still collaborating and working with an editor, and there's like still a lot of moving pieces all coming together. But like, I mean, like I think about how different like your guys' books would be if you didn't have the developed relationship that you have. Like, like you're both like Dave, you're a great storyteller. Tony, you're a fucking wonderful artist, and like you're both talented separately. You could get together and make something special, or you can get together and make something good, but then like when you guys vibe and like each other and like working with each other, and then like with Taft, when you both are like really honed in on the meaning of the story for both of you and how it like surpasses Christmas and time, and
you surpass
like,
Christmas.
Yeah, you've surpassed Christmas now.
Look at me on Christmas now.
The star has given me its holiday powers. I have evolved.
I mean, it all depends on like like if you're working on a licensed property, you're like
yeah,
like if you're working on like a Superman or Batman or something, like honestly, the character is the draw, and it's a giant property, and they're just trying to protect the property and the brand. So it's like they have an editor that's overseeing everything, and unless you're like a big name writer or creative team like a Grant Morrison or somebody, I'm sure they don't get editor notes like that. But yeah, I'm sure they get to do whatever they want when the artist gets more freedom to. And they I know people work with Grant, and they say that they actually talk to Grant about stuff. So some creators like to keep it that way. But I'm sure like if you're doing like the 100 issue number 137 of Wolverine, and it's a fill-in, and there's like a writer who's on the issue for who's writing it for 3 issues, and the artist is just like drawn 1 issue. There's no reason for them to even. Yeah. Why would they even need to talk? Like just Send me the script.
He's like, I don't want to fucking know you, bro. I don't want
yeah, like you can't be friends with everybody.
I don't want to fucking read your emails.
Plus, it's like I'm gonna own Wolverine, or I'm gonna take on. It's like no one.
Yeah,
just
all
like,
right. That makes. I get that. I get that.
You're just a ship passing in the night, and then you're on to the next thing.
Yeah, then you're done. Then you're dead. You're a ship passing in the night, and then you're dead to the world. Speaking of writers, David is on. I hear he's a writer that he doesn't like to talk to his collaborators. I hear he just like sends in. I'm just kidding. Everybody loves working with David.
These are the Daves I know. I know. These
are the Daves like everybody named Dave is an exceptional person.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, David is on. If you were going to write a Christmas tale, would you get heavily involved in the philosophics? That's not a real word. The philosophy behind it. Fuck.
Nailed it.
Done. What my buddy still gives me shit because I said symbology one time, and he was like, "Symbolism? You fucking English major?" I was like, "Oh no."
Isn't Symbology a Prince album?
I don't know. It's not real. I mean, the Prince album might be real, but like it's like there is no. The study of symbols is symbolism. Like it's not. You're not like if you go to college and you're like, I want to major in symbology, they're going to be like, you need to go home. Like there's you're already done here, bud. like Dave and Tony's Christmas miracle narrative won't even save you. Just get out of here. Just like they're still coming back.
Symbology. I like it.
Now, have you guys thought? I know. Like this is a big what if, but like depending on how the campaign goes.
Symbology is a word.
No, it's not. It's really
fuck it isn't. It's the study use of symbols.
Then is symbol? Then no. One of them. Symbology is either symbology or symbolism is not. So symbolism
is a word. Yeah, those are all words. Like you're saying words.
Those are two words that are real.
Like you had such an extensive vocabulary, you didn't even realize it.
Wow. I'm gonna have to call my buddy John and give him shit. Be like, symbology is a real thing now, you motherfucker.
You may have meant symbolism.
Maybe. Who knows?
You may have meant symbolism, but you said symbology.
When you talk on the mic as much as you do, Blake, you're bound to make mistakes.
It all runs together. It's
sky's the limit. When the air is thin up here, my friend.
Yeah, the sky's the limit. It's more like the toilet bowl is full and needs to be flushed. That was a metaphor, not a symbol. That was no wait, or was it an analogy? I don't remember anymore. Words. How this holiday version of Taft goes. Mm-hmm. Have you guys put any thoughts of like a Taft Halloween issue or a Taft Easter special or
we had originally did kick that around a while ago.
Really?
Like we wrote like after we did the first Taft, I was like, what if we did like a seasonal Taft book? Like, wouldn't that be fun? And we were both, he and I were both like, yeah, that would be fun. Like, what would that caper be, or what would that be? And I think that idea just evolved into we're doing a Christmas book. And like the thing about this Christmas book is also like given me these weird feelings about writing more Christmas books. I don't know if that will happen, but there is ideas of like
you write Christmas narratives.
I wouldn't mind writing a couple more Christmas stories. Like I wouldn't mind that. Like
I mean, hey man, you could write the next Grinch. I hear that did all right.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them, 10 of them. But like with Taft, like I think we wanted to do another Taft story, and I had kind of farted around with a sequel to like what we were originally doing, and then he and I just agreed like, well, let's do a Christmas book. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah,
and it being different enough, being a science fiction Christmas book that is science fiction, that isn't like. And it isn't grounded on the earth and like that kind of shit. Like, But yeah, there were some ideas where we were kicking around some seasonal holiday books with Taft Sturgeon. But I don't know.
Yeah,
they're all shitty compared to Christmas anyway. They're just days. They're just days and events. You're just ticking off until you get to fucking Christmas anyway. So I don't give a fuck about none of them.
That's all that matters.
But no one cares about it. Arbor Day.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Why did you do the St. Patrick's Day?"
We're not Irish.
Yeah, boring ass bitch. Get out of here. Basic.
We're Italian. What are you doing over here? Ain't good. Yeah, the next thing we do is probably we have a barbarian book that we've actually drew the first issue.
We've got yeah. So we have a barbarian. We have a fucking
dark the issue is drawn. We're still deciding, figuring out what to do with it. I don't know, crowdfunding campaigns. Like after this one, I think both of us want to take a little break from them for a bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you especially, like, you've been. I mean, I know you're not as wrapped up in the Invader campaigns, but I mean, you had Kadoja from Invader on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
you had Pork Chop on Kickstarter.
Yeah, the Kadoja. I didn't even know that was happening until I went on the internet and saw it. Yeah, I'm their publicist, and I didn't know it was happening until a few days before they launched it.
Very nice.
Then I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Let's make some."
I was talking to Alex. I was talking to Alex Wilson, and he wants to do the Kickstarter for Star Week 3 in April.
Ooh!
And that's all finished. So I mean, the book is done, and it's the final issue. So
I forgot about that. I love that. Yeah. That's a good book. And you guys got that. You got that Erica variant on that last one too. Yeah. Like, that was a good book.
He lined up another variant with an artist last week. So. See how that goes.
Do you read Tony's other work, Dave, when he cheats on you with other people? Like, what does that just not exist to you?
You're no, I'm in there. I'm the fucking guy who hopes that the motherfuckers back my bullshit. Yeah. I'll get your fucking bullshit book without me.
He might have actually bought an issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I might have got him to go to the store to do that.
Oh shit!
I got an issue of Turtles. Like, no, I fucking bought
the worst dude.
I got that.
I bought the worst.
Shit, man! I got Deuce of Hearts. Like, get the fuck out of here!
Oh, shit.
No,
I have two copies. I have two copies. Actually, no, I gave away one copy of my Deuce of Hearts because I bought one and you guys sent me one.
Yeah, what do you think is a good idea? I'm thinking about because I have so many trades of Deuce of Hearts and Worst Dudes. Like, man, maybe throwing those in as a tier somewhere.
Yeah.
Just signed.
Yeah. If you guys like all titles, get this book for your kids. The Worst Dudes, like,
don't give that to your kids.
They'll love it. They'll love it.
Every mom and dad.
Yeah. You go read Taft. Mom and dad will go in the other room and read Worst Dudes. And then everybody goes to church on Sunday.
No, to be honest, I try to, whatever Tony's doing, I try to throw money towards it.
Nice.
So that's just, I don't know. I just feel like that's the right thing to do, but also the motherfucker should buy my book too.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? Like you do some of the
you'd think we passed the $5 around enough times.
Yeah, except it's not $5 anymore. It's like a solid 20. It's a 20 spot these days.
That's right. Drop 30 bones. You get yourself a nice fat hardcover.
Thank your local post office for continuously raising their prices so they can fold your books in half and stick them in your mailbox. No, I'm kidding. The post office is great. Love our government. But no, it's they do, like, medium mail's gone up, all these, like, it's just shipping gets more and more expensive every year, so you guys are having to spend more money, and unfortunately with Kickstarters, you got to compensate. I do think that this is the way to compensate, though. Like, if you look at, like, Charlie Stickney, who does Y-Dash, like, Charlie Stickney doesn't do single issues anymore. His single issues are double-sized issues so that, like, he can get his backers to justify paying the extra in shipping for his campaigns, So, when you do that with, like, a whole graphic novel, you guys are like, hey, this isn't a single issue. It's not even a one shot, right? This is a full blown graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's going to come bound. It's going to be nice. There's going to be some extra pages, some extra stuff. And you're paying for that. And I do think that, that's as opposed to like if you guys did another Taft one shot and charged 18 or 19 bucks for it after shipping, which sometimes you got to do to make ends meet, right? Depending on how many pages it is and how many you print and all that stuff. I do think this original graphic novel format is a good way for crowdfunding. I like it in regular comics. I mean, look at like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I mean, they've come out and basically told Image, like, we'll do exclusives with you, but we're doing original graphic novels. They're all going to come out in hardcover, and you're not going to fucking bombard us with deadlines. You're going to get the books when you get them. And now, obviously,
they can say that.
They can say that, right? But
they can say that, yes.
But they did realize the impactfulness and how fans like the original graphic novel, because like people love those Reckless books. People love the last book, the nightlife one. I can't think of what it's called. Night Fever. It was totally different from Reckless, but still that one shot, 100-something pages in a hardcover, nice and bound, like people like it. People like that format. And so I do think that decision was smart for you guys to make it more than just like a single issue or like a 40-page one shot or something. Like this is a full-blown tale that you get to sit down and spend time with. And then when you're done with it, put it on your shelf. Like this goes on a shelf. It doesn't go in a long box or a short box, right? It goes right there on the shelf where the fancy books go.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the Bible, right next to it. You can put it right there.
You could, or any other religious book.
Yeah, or a cookbook that your mom keeps handing down every Christmas or something.
Ooh.
Something. Your old philosophy text from your undergrad. You put it right next to the Iliad, just like, I don't know.
Hell yeah, doggy. Right next to your Homer.
Yeah.
Put us next to your Homer.
Do it. But you got to back it first. You got to go to the campaign and back it.
Yeah,
you can't put the book anywhere unless you fucking thirsty little comic book gremlins pony up the money.
Yeah, we've still got a ways to go. So
we do.
I know it's going. Like I see this with a lot of campaigns. A lot of people, the campaigns are going slower than what people want. Most of the time, they're getting there eventually. I know it's like stressful and weird to like sit and watch it though, but I do think. I think you guys are going to get where you want to be. Like,
I think we're the Joe Pera of Kickstarters.
Okay.
I think we're just going slow and steady, Daddy.
That's really weird for me for a second because that was my old boss's name, and I was like, "What kind of fucking deep dive comment did you just do, Dave?" But then I was like, "Oh, like there's other Joe Peras."
Yeah, yeah, man.
That's the job I quit before the comic book life started. That was my boss's name, Joe.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
small world.
Slow and steady.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that, Blake.
It's not a small world.
No, don't say your boss's name, man.
Oh, well, he's not. I almost said he's dead now. I don't work there anymore.
So fuck him.
Fuck him. I think everybody knows. I was very vocal in that story about this place I used to work. That I had a panic attack, and they were like, "Yeah, that's great. Get back to work, though." I was like, dude, I was crying and I was supposed to like answer phones and like do calls, right? And I was like trying to answer phones and be like, "Thanks for calling A Action Inspections. This is Blake. How can I help you?" I was thought I was having a heart attack, guys. Like I'd never had a panic attack before. And I was
have you ever walked out of a job before? Just like
never with a backup plan. No, that was my first like fuck you, I quit deal.
I used to do that. I was notorious for doing that when I was working in bars. I would just be like, fuck it, I quit and just leave.
Yeah, I always try. I put a note.
Someone would just piss me off, I remember one time I worked at this, like it was a piano bar at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino, and it was like my first or second night working there. I've been bartending for like a long time at that point. And the lady who was managing the place, she was very young and she was very inexperienced, and she'd flip out over everything. And the first night I was there, she was like getting all worked up about not having sodas filled at like a cranberry. I don't even know, something so like innocuous and pointless, like cranberry juices. And she's like losing her shit over it. And I just was like, I saw how slow the place was and how much money I wasn't going to make there. I just like took off my shirt and just threw it on the bar and just left. I went home and figured out my next move because
I went.
Wasn't gonna happen there.
I threatened to quit one time, and my boss called my bluff because he cut my hours. And I was like, dude, if you cut my hours, man, I'm gonna go find someplace else to work. And he was like, I'm sorry, man. It's just business is slow. It is how it is. And he's like, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, here's my 2-week notice. And he was like, okay. And then I went and worked at this commercial bakery. I took a huge pay cut.
Delicious.
It was it was amazing, but it was like, dude, it was so hot, Dave. Like one day, this girl passed out by the hearth oven, like where the artisanal breads were being made. Because
I used to work at a restaurant. Without working hood vents, it was easily over 120 degrees in there.
Right. It's like this was like, this is in a warehouse basically with like all these commercial ovens and shit. And then so she like passed out one day. And then like after that, they would bring in like popsicles and bottled water, and they would like make us take these breaks. And it was just like, yeah, they were like, eat the cold stuff so you don't die and can keep making our bread. And we were
Did
like,
you smell terrific though?
I smelled pretty good all the time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I miss the bread. My family misses the bread too. Like, and then like you could, if you ordered bread, like, cause we always did like holiday brunches. And so I would get their like chocolate and almond croissants, and we'd have those for brunch. And they were,
I believe it's pronounced
so
croissant.
Yeah. The croissant. What's that stupid video where he's like, I wanted a croissant. I watch too many stupid videos, guys.
I don't know, man.
It's like the dog. It's like the dog saying it. But he's like croissant.
My favorite lately though is the little girl screaming how she wants to pet that dog, and it's a fucking bear, right? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
I remember when my dad first saw that, like it was like a year after everybody was already known about Pet That Dog, and my dad stumbled across it, and he would say it to like our dogs, and he'd be like trying to get like, you guys want a treat? Can I pet that dog? I was like, dude, you don't say that to the dog, Dad. And I was like, but I don't know, people would come over and they'd be like, oh shit, I forgot about that. I was like, yeah, my dad just found it. It's fine. Just let him have it.
It brings me joy.
No, it's a fun. I like those stupid or like when they show the puppies and it's like, I'm mommy's baby. Like I don't know.
I have no idea what any of this stuff that you're talking about.
You guys don't know that?
I don't. I'm not on TikTok or whatever.
Well, I mean, they're everywhere.
Well, you're everywhere.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god. I'm trying.
Are you finding it and put it on your fucking?
No, I'm mommy's baby.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell. No, it's not quite The Exorcist.
No, not
it's
at all.
On the verge.
What? You're crazy.
Let's go there. I don't know. What's that? It's a small robot. It's a tiny robot. I don't know. You guys, we're here to do voices now.
Okay. The voice segment.
We're not. No, we're not.
The 2-hour mark.
This is where we've given up, and we're just here to. Let's liven it up, baby. Shots. No, roll them out. Pour them, Tony. You can do it. All right, so yeah, you guys have a comic book that I'm doing super great. I love how all the concerns Dave has told me about podcasts lately, I ruined tonight. We started an hour late. I've talked about everything but your guys' book, and I've said weird shit.
Yeah, congrats, you hit the trifecta.
Yeah,
Crown, baby.
I am podcast famous. Like that's how you get there. That's Follow my footsteps to greatness. You can do it. I believe in you. But no, you've got this graphic novel out. You've been working on it. You're hustling on it. It's live on Kickstarter. It's stressful. It's exciting. You know, are you guys even thinking about? I know I was saying, are you thinking about what's next? I know Tony's drawing something right now, but like when you're in like the midst of a big campaign and project like this, are you guys thinking about the future too, or do you kind of take a break from that and like focus on the now? Like, how do you like parse out your career steps at weird moments like this when you're like in an active campaign?
Well, for me, I'm always working. I'm
Yeah.
always working. So like, I don't, you know, I worry about what's in front of me right now. And then like, you know, I check.
You said that last night too. And I felt like the panel didn't know how to take it. Like they're cool. Cause Mata is like draws full time too, like is an artist and like does her comic and work for other people. Right. But like, I feel like sometimes when they're like, oh, and you're like, well, if I don't draw, I don't eat. This is what I do. This is my job. And people are like, but yeah, what do you do during the day? You know, and it's like some people just don't get that. But I mean, this is your life. You've done it.
This is my job.
Yeah.
This is the life I've chose. So
yeah, like, you're not like fucking Dave with his fucking backup plan, making literally chasing waterfalls that he's built in someone's
Dave's
backyard.
making arguably more beautiful art than me, so I don't know.
Brother, this isn't a backup plan.
Yeah, this is life.
This is just life.
I was talking to somebody the other day about this, like out in the real world, and she was like, I was telling her that, oh yeah, I got this Rick and Morty thing I just landed in my lap, and I got to do it because I need the money, and also like, you know, I never can't say no to work. So especially like something like that, you could do it. Maybe you can lead to more, you know. But I'm also drawing this other thing, and they both have a similar deadline. So it's like, I'm going to be doing two things at once. She's like, well, how do you make yourself be creative 12 hours a day? I'm like, I don't have a choice.
I take a break. I log into my bank account. I look at the number, and then I'm like, we got to keep being creative.
What day of the month is it? When's rent due? Like, the dog needs food. I need to pay my bills. Like, but also it's like, this is my job. So it's not like, you know, whatever you do, it's like you wake up and you go to work. It's just like, it's like
people do it with me too. They hit me up and they're like, hey man, I know you're busy. Are you taking on clients right now? And I'm like, I need money. What do you want from me? Like, you know, I was like, I will do whatever you need for money. Like, just let me know and I'll let you know when I have time to do it. Cause because I feel like it's there. It was like when I started podcasting and for a long time, I was really scared to tell people no. Cause I was like, if you tell someone no, they won't ask anymore. And I feel like a lot of job markets, and especially in the creative job markets, is people can feel like that. Whereas like, you know, you get some lucky gigs or whatever, and then you get bombarded with requests, and sometimes you know you may burn yourself out or walk that line of burning yourself out.
That's definitely like like even with this upcoming thing, it's like you want to do the best work you possibly can, but then there's a time constraint, and it's seemingly with a lot of these things, it's never, you never get enough time. You know, it's never like, oh, you get a month or 2 months to do this thing. It's always like, you wanted Ninja Turtles, I had to draw it in like 3 weeks, you know.
Wow.
It's like, wow, this is like a big deal, and I gotta rush it essentially, you know. And I mean, I'm getting older, so I can't do all-nighters anymore. So it's like, you know,
even doing all-nighters was never
it was hard back
either. Right. Yeah.
When I was in my early 30s, I'd be somewhat productive because, you know.
Yeah, because you told me that you used to get off work because you worked at like the 3-4 o'clock in the morning bars like I used to, right? So you would get off work at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. You never go right home when you get off work at that time, you know, like
I would.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah,
so you would go home and work. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would go home and draw till I got tired.
Wow.
Knowing that I didn't have to go back to work till 4 p.m. the next afternoon, or maybe even 6 p.m. if I was working a later shift or maybe even 10, depending on where I was working.
Yeah.
But it was never being like, hey, if on the rare occasions where I had to close at 4 and I had to be up there to open at noon, then I just go home and go to bed and go back to work, and that's what that was. But if I was able to sleep in, I just go home and draw till I got tired and went to bed, and then woke up, and depending on how much time before I had to go to work, I'd either start drawing again or, do life stuff that I had to take care of. But I did that for a long time.
Wow.
Because it's like, if you want to do something, it's like, especially comics, like you have to work at it.
Yeah.
Get better, and it's not going to draw itself. So none of these
That's
things.
true. It's not gonna draw itself. It's not gonna write itself. It's not gonna sell itself on Kickstarter. Unfortunately, I think a lot of. So I think so. Yeah, I think some people think it will, but it's just it's a lot of work, and I love this industry, and I love comic books, obviously. But I do know it is it's a bummer, when you've been. I get to see a lot of what people don't get to see in this industry, and people also vent to me privately, which is cool, but you hear things, and it's like, that's the one thing about this industry that aggravates me is it's because the people that do find success, most of the people that find success is they love it so much, and they have to make these comics. They have to tell these stories these specific ways, and this has to happen. It's the only way it can happen, and they'll do anything they can to make it happen and to get these pages printed, and so all that love and passion is in these projects. And then when these fucking publishers get involved in it, and it's just like all that love and passion gets siphoned out. It's very much like that Daniel Day-Lewis movie where he's like, I drink your milkshake. You're over here with a milkshake of love and passion. And I take a long straw and I drink your milkshake. I slurp at the goodness that you have in your cup. And it's just I feel like that's the comic book industry.
That's kind of funny. I would say that there's some of that for sure. I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a friend last night, and they're doing a variant cover for somebody, and the company they're doing the variant cover for were like, oh yeah, just do you, have fun with it, just have a blast. And they're like, all right, cool. And they did like 2 roughs that they really love, and then the reply they got were like, oh yeah, maybe not do that. It's like, oh yeah, you love what I do, have fun with it, go off, and then you do that, and then they're like, oh, maybe don't have that much fun.
Yeah.
And that's what my friend said. They were like, yeah, they're saying have fun, but don't have too much.
Well, it's have fun so I can see what you
get in the
can
kitchen
do,
and cook,
and then I can tell you not to do certain things. Thanks. Don't do that.
Essentially, what ends up being is look like we just want it to look like what everyone else is doing that's done on this property or this book, because we think readers and people at comic shops are idiots, and they just are going to be triggered by an image, or they're going to be attracted by a familiar image that they know. So have you ever noticed, this is not the book I'm talking about, but you ever notice on the Creepshow comics, all the covers are the Creepshow guy holding the comic. It's always Creepshow guy holding the comic. It's never, you never get a variation of that. It's never
wow. Yeah, no, I guess I didn't. I never put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, because that's all they want. They don't want anything else. They just give us the same thing over and over again. Don't do anything outside the box.
Put all of you in it.
But try to make it look like this. Yeah, it's gonna look more like this though.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems like with a lot of these things. I find that with my art, it's because I feel like I'm in a weird spot with my work, because I'm not gritty or realistic enough for some people, but I'm also too cartoony, but I'm also too weird and maybe gritty for cartoony people. So I'm in this weird middle ground of gritty realism and cartoony. And I find it hard sometimes I find my work doesn't connect with a lot of people because of that. And it's I wonder, do I need to pick a lane and go with it? Do I need to go hard cartoons, or do I need to go full on grit, grimdark, whatever, because I feel like a straddle fence.
No to both of those.
Yeah, but it's when you're trying to be a working artist, it's
no, I get what you're thinking, and
a little bit,
But yeah,
but then it's you do your own thing, and then if depending on the response you get, that's kind of like is telling me what I should do.
Yeah.
So like if I'm not getting the response I think I should be getting with the work I'm making, then maybe there is some sort of like, adjustment or self-reflection that needs to be made.
What would you do, Dave, if Tony sold out and he was like, I'm going to do the style that makes me the most money?
I'd be happy for him.
Damn it. I'm trying to bring out the drama, guys. You're not taking the bait.
No.
If
Tony figures out something and sells out and is happy, like I'd much rather him be that than sad.
I would be sad if the
Amelia's right.
If the world,
I think
their
the whole
style
is
is gone though.
Well,
but this is true though. Yeah, what Amelia's saying.
It's hard to be unique. Exactly. That's what it is. And it's hard to be unique until it isn't. And like Mike Mignola, I think is a perfect example to where he bumped around on all these titles and he would do a Marvel thing or a DC thing.
And man, we were just talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Eastman and Laird, like Kevin Eastman.
Yeah, but it's a thing until it becomes it becomes accepted as like a thing.
Then give me that. Give me that.
I have an interview with Kevin Eastman. I shelved it.
Oh yeah, why?
I don't know. I have like 3 more Planet Comic-Con interviews that I never I haven't edited and aired, and one of them I was so nervous because they told me I got 5 minutes with Kevin Eastman.
Did you do the Chris Farley? Remember when you did that thing?
Yeah,
that was cool.
Remember when you guys gave Raphael like his own issue? Oh man, that's so cool. No, it was almost there, but it was I was stressing, man, because they were like, "What the fuck do you do in 5 minutes?" Right? Like it was that's like one question, maybe 2, and so I was like stressing, and I was like, I don't know what to ask him, like what everybody else hasn't asked him already. And I was like, what do I ask him? What do I ask him? And so I was actually in line at the con to get some stuff signed by him, like just for me, like just like to meet him and say hi and spend a bunch of money in his booth, and it was so cool. And I was talking to the other people standing in line, and we were talking about body count. That like adult Ninja Turtle
or the comic book.
Yeah, yeah. I was like
the band or the comic.
I was like, I thought you meant like body count, like how many people you fucked. No,
I mean,
how
like
many
Ice-T.
Yeah, no.
Body count.
The body count, the adult Ninja Turtle graphic novel with Raphael and Casey Jones. Like it was like from Mirage. It was like it got reprinted a few years ago, but like not a lot of people know about it. But it's like basically like Raph and Casey Jones like murder everybody. It's very uncensored, and like a lot of people were like, "You can't make the Ninja Turtles can't do this." And Kevin Eastman was like, "They're mine. I can make them do whatever I want." Anyways, we were talking in line, and some of us were talking about body count, and I was like, "Man, wouldn't it be cool if they did like a Ninja Turtle Black Label for like."
That would be cool.
Us that are like still fans of Ninja Turtles, but adults. And everybody was like, holy shit, who is this guy? And they were like, and I was like the coolest dude in the autograph line for a second. Right. And I was like, that's what I got to ask Kevin Eastman. I was like, oh, like Ninja Turtles Black Label, like Success of Last Ronin. It's fucking dark and edgy. And so I was like, I'm talking to Eastman, and I was like, hey, would like you ever thought about doing this? Like, and he was like, yeah, Nickelodeon would never let us do that. And then he just like basically like recap, like gave me a rundown of what's going on in the last Ronin and the last Ronin spinoff. And I was like, bummer. Like that was not, it was just, I was like, and it was just, I was just very limited on time. Question didn't pan out.
I know what I would ask him. I know exactly what I would ask him.
What would you ask him?
Tail or no tail? That's what I would.
Fuck, man. God damn.
5 minutes.
I should have hit you. I should have hit you up before I went to the con.
Remember they had the tails and they got rid of them because they were
Or like where who decided the colors? I feel like the colors were an editorial thing. Like
the mask you mean, or
yeah, because they were all red at first and they were distinguished by their weapons and dialogue. Yeah. But like, I mean,
the cartoon.
Yeah. But I mean, somebody was like, they can't all be red.
I mean, it does make it easier to discern who they are if they're different colored masks, because they're not always wielding their weapons.
Yeah.
And like artists generally, I know like when I drew them, I tried to draw them looking differently, and because I know Sophie drew them differently.
Mm-hmm.
So like Jenica is the tallest one, so I drew Jenica as like the biggest one.
Yeah.
And then I would draw like there's a scar on Michelangelo or Leonardo, like so I made sure that was there. And then like Donatello is a little skinnier, and then I think Raphael was like a little chunky.
Yeah, Raph's always like the bouncer turtle. I feel like.
He's a little shorter. He's like kind of like the short, stocky guy. Yeah. So I kind of like tried to make them all different sizes and subtle ways, but a lot of artists just draw them. They all look the same without their masks. So I can imagine it would be hard if they didn't have different color masks.
That's true. That's true. What I did know, I noticed there's a TMNT cameo. Well, an unofficial.
No,
there's a turtle-like being.
What are you talking about, Blake? Shut the fuck up. There's none of that stuff. Blake, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
That was all right. That was in the deal you guys gave me to send to press. That's just so you know.
I don't know. I don't know who walk around the background in June. That's June. June is a celestial thing.
What happens on June stays in June, exactly. Dude. Like, we don't talk. No one talks about what happens on June.
There's no turtles in space, by the way, buddy. That's not a turtle.
In space, no one can hear you turtle. No screaming, no turtles anywhere. No turtles. Yeah, I was just kidding.
There's especially no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Taft Holiday.
That was just some of those wild Blake's Buzz shenanigans you guys get when you tune in live. You never know what's going to happen.
The only way you can find out is by reading the book.
The only way you can find out what's definitely not in there is if you back. Dave is so confused. Where are you at right now?
Not even caught that they're. You might not even caught that in the book. I don't know.
I'll just get past editorial. What is happening?
I catch everything. I just don't fucking say shit. Whatever. This is what he wants to do. This is what he wants
I am the all-seeing eye.
Yeah. I'll say I like this or that here and there, but most of the time it's just like, all right. Okay. Yeah, like he fucking put that pink fucking cat in the fucking toy factory. You thought I'd never see that, and I saw that shit. Now I just gotta tell Guillermo to not color it pink.
Why?
Aubrey will get mad.
Speaking of cats, how many you got crashed?
We just have 2. I did have somebody call me today.
You didn't keep them? You didn't keep the tabby? Oh man.
Nah, man. Like
Tony, on Facebook, I really always send him messages and try and guilt him into keeping all his foster cats. Like,
I wish I could. Dude.
Every time he posts a picture, I'm like, keep it or you're dead to me. Like
we may be getting another one. This is like a barn cat that was just found tonight.
Oh, really?
So we'll see.
Like another foster or another?
It's like a feral. It's like it's like a feral kitten.
Yeah, just like this one might kill us in our sleep. Like chances are high.
We'll see what happens.
You may smell the milk on our breath and.
Oh, really?
Where's that been my whole life?
Yeah. I could just have a podcast of the air horn and that.
Right. Yeah, that's all you need. You don't need to make cool comics or get cool guests, or you just talk to yourself, drink whiskey, and play sound effects on your Rodecaster that doesn't work for the first hour you're supposed to go live. Now I know. If it does that again, I just reset it. Reset the.
Oh, good.
It's real easy to get back up. But like, it was like for a second, I was like, I'll just unplug it and like reinstall all my old audio equipment. And then I was like, that's going to take 20 or 30 minutes to like run wires and do. And I was like, then we're more than an hour late. And anyways, yeah, fucking technology's so great when it works. And then like when it doesn't, you're just like, what do I do? Well, is that why you still draw like traditionally, Tony? I know you do some stuff digitally, but is that why you still kind of rock like ink and paper still is because of like some things. So it like it's nice when it works, but it doesn't always work. And especially I feel like digital artists, like drivers for whatever tablet or screen you guys are using is like that's like the Joker to your Batman. I feel like it's like you guys are always wrestling with drivers. I feel like
I'm not, because I don't.
Yeah, because you don't do it. You're like, I don't fuck with it, Blake. That's exactly why.
Well, that's not exactly why. I just don't like staring at a screen for hours at a time.
Yeah.
So like the light bothers my eyes, and
Okay.
I prefer tactile, like feeling like the pen in my hand or the brush in my hand or getting ink in under my nails, or I like the paper. I still enjoy it. I also feel like I have done some stuff digitally. Like I think Kadoja was all digital. I drew that all digital.
Oh wow.
And that's cool because it was like I need to do it fast and expeditiously. But like I also feel like if I do too much digital, my skills start to wane because it's like there's so many. You can control Z shit, and it's just like the decisions you're making aren't like.
It's not etched in stone like when you have actual ink on paper.
You got to be real. You got to be real careful when you're working on ink on paper because you don't want it to like fuck up. So like, digitally, you can just kind of control Z, especially like I use programs where you can control Z forever. So it's like you can just keep controlling Z. And also like I don't like I feel like a lot of the digital stuff I see, certain artists maintain their style, but lots of times they all just start to look the same after a while because they're all using the same brushes and the same techniques and the same programs. And it's kind of all starts to, after they've been doing it for so long, it all just kind of looks like the same digital art, for better or worse, you know?
Okay.
And I kind of like can't tell, like, is that so-and-so or is that so-and-so? Or I can't tell whose hand that is, you know? And I like it when I look at an artist and I go, oh, that's, John Romita Jr. or, that's, Mike Mignola, or I just like being able to tell who they are by looking at their art. So
do you think it changes? Like, I know you do some conning and some tabling, right? But like, if you're in what?
It's been a long time.
But yeah, you went. What was it last year? Didn't both of you meet up last year sometime? Oh,
no,
I haven't gone to a con.
Seen each other since the before times.
Oh, wow.
Since before the pandemic.
I thought you went. Our first meeting for this campaign, you said you guys had like a powwow planned. You guys were gonna hang out.
We were going to.
Oh.
Yeah. David was going to come out, I think, and then it fell through. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, we always talk about it, and there's always a possibility, but like, it's
that's what I do with my friends too. We talk about hanging out. There's a possibility. I don't.
We end up looking at like flight costs, and it's just
it's different when you live
$700 for round trip. Sweet.
Yeah.
Like
it's not quite worth it, Tony.
I'd like to make some comics with you. I want to hang out too, though.
I mean, we have fun hanging out, but it's been a long time. Like I was gonna go to Emerald City. I was supposed to table there right before the pandemic hit. That 2020. It was me and Matt Miner were gonna table, and then the cases started coming in, and I'm like, damn, this is gonna get canceled. And I remember I was talking to a couple friends, and I'm like, this show's gonna get canceled. There's no way. And one of my acquaintances was like, nah, you're full of shit. This show's gonna happen. I'll be there, and you'll be at home, and I'm gonna laugh at you because I'll be there while you're home scared. And then like the next week, I was like, oh yeah, no, Seattle is fucking overrun with COVID, and we're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I ended up losing money on a flight and all that shit. I was gonna be out there too.
Wow.
I just got real sad.
And then the last couple of years, we've applied for Emerald City and we've gotten rejected every time. So
that's ridiculous. I mentioned this. I'm salty about it. That's why I said it in that chat on your guys' live stream the other night. But like we got put on a fucking wait list for a Kansas City, whatever. But like I guess
the Kansas City Con. Is that your hometown?
Yeah.
Con? Like
I didn't apply for it, but I've been like I'll be able to get a press pass for it, but. My boss wanted to do a Metal Ninja table, and I was going to get to like meet my boss. He was going to fly in. We were at a table, like hang out at the con, and I was going to get like a pro pass instead of a press pass, basically. But they put us on a fucking wait list. It's crazy. I just don't. I remember like last year, New York was doing that with people too. Like all these people, like name recognizable people were applying for passes, and they were like, "Yeah, not for New York this year, sorry." And they were like,
"It's gotten like I remember back in the day, it was a lot easier before, like 2012 to 2015, 2016 even. David and I got tabled at we could probably still get a table at Road City, but like Emerald City, I tabled a bunch. I tabled at San Diego Comic-Con for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I did all those shows, and that was before I did any books that anyone ever read.
Wow.
That's when I was just like coming up doing small gigs here, there, or indie stuff, and it was just easier to get tabled. Yeah, it was just easier though. There's just less people, it was just less.
Dave,
demand.
you've done a couple shows though, like semi recently. Yeah. Like
he lives in an area where there's a lot around. There's Baltimore, so it's
you guys were talking about this last night on that on the stream. Would you guys, if anybody wants to go check out, these guys were on Bit and Apple TV last night talking about their book as well, and cons, and Dave got really excited about food for a while, and it was really cute and adorable. I really encourage people to go watch that.
And anytime you want to come out to Baltimore, we eat well. I'll take you places. Nice. Always eat well. Always eat well with me.
Anytime you come out to Baltimore, I'll take you places.
always eat well. Always eat well.
You got it.
Amelia will tell you. Amelia and I, we go to coffee. We go to coffee and we get yums.
I was like, where's this going? We eat well. We go get coffee.
We get coffee. We get baked goods.
Drink. All right.
It's good.
Nice
good stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm very food.
When Tony and his dad came out, we went. We had good food.
Tony's like me. Tony is, well, I mean, all you guys have good food a lot, but Tony can clean it up in the kitchen too. Like I've seen him do it.
He is always cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. He's always doing something. He's always doing something. Making good art, making good food, making good friends, being on weird podcasts. That's what Tony Gregori and Dave Crispino are doing lately. To promote their book. They're just trying to they're working so damn hard for you guys, just trying to spread holiday cheer. The world fucking sucks. There's like fucking wars, and like kids are dying, and like everything's too expensive. My dad is so grumpy all the time. I don't understand why. And all these guys are doing is trying to make that better by telling you an amazing Christmas story. And you guys haven't even funded it yet on Kickstarter. Like,
hey man, at least you have a dad.
Fair? Huh?
At least you have a dad.
That's true.
David and I are dadless.
I wasn't just
we're dadless, man.
I'm an
show
orphan.
up one day and the biblical text, and they were like, "We don't know how your mom got pregnant, but it was God. It definitely wasn't your neighbor."
This is getting dark.
Yeah, what's going on in Kansas City? Jesus Christ.
No. My dad's awesome, but he's today he was. We were out. We went to the dispensary today, and like I had to go get I thought I got a bad cart, Tony, and I just had like 2 bad batteries. One battery like just fell apart. It just like I was like trying to screw it in, and it kept screwing, and I was like, this isn't right, and I like pulled it, and like wires went everywhere, and it exploded, and I was just like, I just want to fucking smoke this fucking $25 the OG Kush Graham thing I bought out of electricity, right? I just wanted I just want to do this. So anyways, like my dad and I go on this adventure, and we go to like a couple head shops, and we're like looking around, and we're at this head shop, and I get this battery for the pen, and I'm asking the guy, I'm like dude, you got fucking a million batteries here. I was like, just tell me which one to buy. And he's like, get this one. It's $30. It's good. I was like, sweet. And my dad is talking to this guy behind me, and he's like, yeah. Or no, wait, I'm sorry. So we went there, and then we had to go to the sorry.
What the fuck is happening?
Sorry. Yeah.
Are you sure you weren't able to smoke it?
I know we've definitely smoked
back
it.
in my day. We used to hollow out an apple or smoke it out of a fucking Coke can.
Buddy.
Or a fucking,
I've hit
dump out your parents' shampoo or conditioner.
I got this new little battery pack. I got this new little battery pack.
Fuck all that, man. Yeah. You get the Suave bottle, you dump all that shit out, you punch a hole in it.
Big dog.
You punch another hole in it. You get a nut. You get a big pen. You take one of the screens out of your parents' fucking sink.
What are you?
You put that in there. Fill it up with water. You got a bong. I don't know what the fuck you kids are talking about nowadays, but 30, 45. Fuck, man. Shit. Get out of here.
30, 45. Fuck, man. I don't know.
No, man. $8 bottle of fucking shampoo.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. All right.
You can put it in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And not get rid of it.
That's okay. I agree that you could do that. You could do that if you wanted to. So I forgot that after the head shop, we went to the pharmacy because my dad was like, hey, like, do you have a show? Can we? I was like, I have a show, but we had plenty of time. And I was like, we can go to the pharmacy. It's fine. So we go to the pharmacy and I'm like, I go pick up, I get this, I go to the liquor store and I get a bottle of whiskey. And then I go meet my dad at the pharmacy and I'm waiting for my dad at the pharmacy. And my dad's talking to the pharmacy tech, and he's just like, yeah, things are just tough and there's all these extra bills for the holidays. And I'm just getting young. I'm getting older. I don't know. And I'm just like, and he's just like giving this clerk like this sad sob story. And he turns around and she's like, are you taking care of your dad? And I was like, are you believing his sad sob bullshit story? I was like, he's retired. Him and my buddy go fishing several times a week. Some weeks, they just get stoned and go fishing all the time. He doesn't have to work and he hangs out with our dog. And I'm like, don't let him bitch. Don't let him complain. He's living the goddamn dream. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. He just gets to fish and get high all the time and then finds random cute texts at pharmacies to just be like, my life's in shambles and it's falling apart. And I'm like, no, it's not. You were like hanging out. Anyways, that was the story. That was the story I had to tell you all. That was really important.
Mm-hmm. Well, you won't hear any of that in Taft Sturgeon Holiday in the Stars.
Not at all. There's none of that.
Nobody's got a cranky stoner dad.
Nope.
No.
I don't even think they go to a pharmacy. There's no pharmacies.
No pharmacy. Nope.
Nobody's having to pay bills for medicines that they didn't plan on.
Not in this issue. No, not in this issue.
Might be coming up though. Might be in the next.
All right. Nice. The next year's issue.
Taft Sturgeon waits in line.
Amelia gets. I don't know. I feel like Amelia gets it. She's just. It's all that. Yeah.
She's talking about Zeke's. She's talking about comment,
but I'm gonna apply that to everything I just said. Like, yeah, our audience is feeling that. Thank you, Amelia. That's.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm here for you all. I thought you may not realize. I'm sacrificing.
I feel like we're at the end of the like therapy session. Like, do you need a hug?
I do.
I need stay for the therapy.
I need hugs, Tony. There's
something you do.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. What I need is I need to finish reading Taft. I need to finish reading this. That's if I can just read the whole thing, I'll be happy and everything will be fine. So if you guys could please go donate and pledge to this campaign and get it funded so I can read it. And then you won't have to, I'll never complain again. If Taft Sturgeon funds in the next 12 hours, I will never complain about anything ever again in the history of Blake's Buzz.
That's a lie. Come on. Don't make promises you can't keep.
I'll make another podcast, Tony. I'll make a
Very good.
Yeah, Blake's Buzz is all positivity. Have you watched going. Blake's Biz? No, like
Blake's bitch session.
Yeah, like Blake will complain. He just talks about his dad and his buddy going fishing for an hour and a half. Like, tune in for that riveting experience. The audio sounds great, though.
Yes,
it's a lot of this. Though. It's just a lot of that, and just
crisp timber.
Nature is exhilarating. Guys, I've kept you for almost 2.5 hours. I'm so sorry.
You did it.
It's okay.
This happened the last time. The last time Tony and I talked, we kept talking and talking and talking. And then I was like, holy shit, man. I was like, I'm sorry. I know you guys have like families and partners.
Does the audience like this?
They're still watching it. They're still in here.
How many people we got watching this?
Listening to us. Amelia says she's vanilla marshmallow that makes it extra funny. That's all that matters. That's it's as long as we have one marshmallow. We got 2 marshmallows. We got Pierre's in the house too. Can this be some sort of
what is the record? What's the longest podcast you've ever done, Blake?
I think it was my first holiday special, which is why I don't do holiday specials anymore. But I had I had Travis Gibb and Marcus on. Marcus on knew he was getting my best comic of the year, so he co-hosted with me while he was still living in Hawaii. But that was like a 3.5, like a over 3.5 hour episode.
I can't
do that. And it was live.
If we started on time, I could have did that, but.
Oh wow! Sorry, Dave. No, I apologize. That was on me. It really was on me. We could have beat that. We could have beat that. Like Blake, if you would have had your shit together, we could have set a record tonight. You fucked that up. You shit that. You shit that bed so hard a spring went up your asshole, bud. And that's how that happened.
You could have been a contender. Could have been somebody.
Yeah.
Also, Steve Urena and Lane Lloyd. We did a Christmas episode one time that went real long. And I remember like not knowing how to edit it because it was all really funny and it was making me laugh. Listen back to it, I was like, I can't cut this shit. And I was like, fuck it. Here's a 4-hour podcast episode. And then people like hit me up and they were like, that was the funniest shit ever. I was like, wow, you listen to that? You're weird.
I listen to long pods all the time, especially like I have a friend's pod. I like, or, like Ramon, my buddy Ramon Villalobos had Mex Flintayo, and they would go like 3-hour pods with like other creators and stuff. And there'd be some funny content in there. So
yeah,
especially like doing your errands, walking around town. Like I walk everywhere, so I'm walking around, going shopping, or doing whatever I gotta do, and like working. I'll just have it plugged in and listen to it. And,
nice,
nice.
I hope people do that with me. That'd be nice. I don't. It's funny, man, because I remember like when I was younger and when people first started live streaming. And that was the whole deal. It was like they would brag about it. They'd be like, oh my God, I went 4 hours last night. And then these other pod bros would be like, I went 6.5 hours last night. And then these other guys were like, I went 8. We drank 5 Red Bulls and G Fuel sponsored us. Oh my God, bro. But it was just like everybody was. And then they started doing these 24-hour charity streams where like people would do like a 24-hour live stream. And so it was like these big long streams. It lured people in and yeah, like most people didn't watch the whole thing, but you watch for a while, leave and come back, or watch it later, and like listen to a little now, come back, listen to a little later. And now like people have told me, like when I post like an hour and a half long interview, they're like, well, yeah, but have you ever thought of like taking that and like editing it down to like 2 or 3 minutes? And it's like, oh yeah, have I? Did I just think about that whole episode and just put it down into sort of, yeah. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
That's why I'm bad about this, but like I would be finding a lot more success if like every interview I did, if I made like a couple, and you're gonna get it because you're paying for it, honestly. But like I've already marked a couple times during this stream tonight that'll make like good moments to market Taft, right? But technically, like every interview I did, if I did like 2 or 3 clips and edited those down to a minute to post on like Twitter or to post on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and you did that, and then like if you do that every day, it'll apparently get you famous. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you got to show your ass on the internet to get famous these days.
I feel like I show a lot of ass. I feel, like, I mean, I talk a lot of shit. I don't know. Like that's the same thing though, kind of, but yeah, it's just crazy. And it's just editing takes time. The clip pulling and the edit, and then you gotta like template it out and upload, and it's just a lot of time, and sometimes I have it and sometimes I don't. And that's that's kind of why my boss is about to own my podcast, because like eventually like he's talking about paying for like editors. Like all I have to do is talk to people, and then like other people like that's like a long-term deal we're working on with like
Blake's Buzz talking about this
studios. Yeah.
Maybe this is something you should be talking about.
No, we've already talked. Like people know. I don't own. I haven't. Technically I don't own Blake's Buzz anymore. Sort of.
Like maybe
we've talked about this. It's been a thing. It's been a thing. It's not.
David's right. I think maybe
I've talked about this before.
I don't know. Like,
no, let's just
where I come from, you don't air your dirty laundry.
It's not dirty. I sold out. It's
not yet.
Yeah, it's just but like one day.
Yeah.
That's
that's
like,
the one thing that's funny about comics industry. Everything is so top secret.
Yeah, I'm not good at top secret at all. Like that's probably why I'll never make comic. They'll be like, we can't ever publish Blake. He's one live stream away from
NDA.
Yeah.
NDA.
No one's ever made me sign one yet.
Me neither. No, that's not true.
Yes.
That's not true. I had to for a book. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No.
Someone told me I may have to sign one, but I ended up not having to. But I mean, also, I don't know. Like, I know when to not talk about stuff too. Like when people are like, "Don't say anything." Do you know anything though ever? Are you even a real person? I don't know. Like, are you an AI bot? I don't know. You might be. It's
That'd be fun if you were.
Blake Bot 101.
I have been programmed. Yeah. I'm just a big box of circuitry and good times.
You're a Taftatron, which is something you'll find in Taft Sturgeon.
Oh shit! Nice segue, bud. You should do this.
Get it.
I should draw comics. You should be a podcast host. Nope, that probably won't work. You could be a podcast host. I just couldn't draw comics. I mean, I could. No one would buy
drawing and then like looking up and talking for a little bit and then going back to drawing.
Yeah. Like Blake's art is amazing, but like it takes him 5 years to draw 20 pages because he live streams every panel.
Some people do that. I don't. Some people live stream when they're working. I don't.
Yeah.
Do that.
I am that guy. I can't not do it. When you guys post those art videos and they time lapse them and speed it up, I'm that fucking guy who posts the comments. It's like, you draw so fast. I can't not do it when I see them. It's like it's like a fucking disease,
dude, I can't help it. Whenever I see like the planetary system, I always go Uranus. I can't help myself.
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
My dad would on every bot like profile that would have like a beautiful like buxom woman, he would just type gorgeous. And like
God bless his heart.
Back when you could see everybody's like shit, you know what I'm talking on Facebook, and like I would come and I'd like log on and I'd just see my dad's like comments on all these bots just saying gorgeous. And like one year I was like, Dad, people can see that shit. He's like, no, they can't. I was like, Dad, you know that when you're at a party and like you're talking about dumb shit and all of a sudden it gets real quiet because everyone's listening to you and you say the dumbest shit at that moment? That's you on Facebook. Gorgeous,
breathtaking.
Yeah, like
good genes. Just
take it home.
Great genes.
It's just like Steve Guppy, right?
Oh man.
All right, it's your fault, Dave. I got another dad story. The other day, my dad is talking another pharmacy dad story too. He's on the phone talking to like calling pharmacy peoples because he's retired, so he's not working, and he keeps getting involved with these like medical people, and they're like, they kind of get him to buy more medicine than he needs at the moment. That like saves him money in the long run, but is expensive right now. And he's just they're always freaked out about money. And so
like buying a pallet of mayonnaise.
Yeah. Except he's like buying a pallet of like diabetes and heart medication. And he's like, I don't even know if I need these. I might die tomorrow. And it's like, all right, Dad, you might. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, you know what? My dad says shit like that all the time too.
Yeah.
He did die.
Well, yeah, I know he's gonna.
He's right. My dad died, and when we were going through his shit, he had about I would say, if I remember correctly, at least 10 credit cards that are ready to be activated.
Whoa.
Right? And he was maxed out on all his other cards. So he was just like riding the shell game to the very end.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I'll use this to pay this bill and use this card to pay this bill, and then I'll just get 10 more and I'll max those out.
This one's 0% interest when I do a balance chain.
He had such great credit, 79 years old, and owned homes and businesses and stuff. It's like boats and all kinds of shit. So
that happened when my grandma died. Something similar happened, but it was a whole bunch of stored pain meds that my family fought over. They were just like, they found these cabinets of like meds, and the family, they were like, I want these ones and I want these ones. And it was like
my sister and I found guns. That was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, my dad had a bunch of pistols and we found them. And then like luckily while we were there at the condo, one of the neighbors, one of their friends was in town. He actually did like gun conventions. So he came by and bought a bunch of them. And it just so happened that he was there, like,
oh wow.
Like, what do we do with these guns? Like, I don't even know if they're registered. I don't even know, like, can we get in trouble and can they confiscate them? And this guy's like,
my dad's guns are definitely not registered.
Wait, maybe I shouldn't be talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It's Florida.
Yeah, now who's talking out of scene?
That's Florida, man. You can do whatever down there.
No, Florida was fine.
Yeah, we can do whatever in Florida. You start talking about giving away podcasts in Kansas City. That's you're a little out of line, Blake. So all right, so my dad's on the phone with this pharmacy tech, and he's like, he keeps talking, and it's a robot, guys. It's a robot. And it keeps asking, it's like, oh, do you want to, like, if you fill out this survey, you could get a gift card. And my dad's like, no, I don't want to do the survey. I need to get my medicine. And then it's like, sorry, what do you want to like do? And my dad starts screaming at this. And I mean, like, people are at the house, like there's people over about this. It's like before a Chiefs game. And my dad just like has his cell phone away from his face so he can like yell into it. And he's like, I don't fucking want it. And he's like going off at this. He's yelling at this robot so bad. I'm like, I felt bad for the robot, guys. I was like, oh, that poor robot didn't even do anything to deserve that. And I was like, and we're like, my dad's deaf. He's kind of deaf. And so my sister and I are yelling at, we're like, Dad is, it's not a real person. It's not and he's like, shut up. He's like,
a lot of those things, crazy. Like if you cuss at them, they'll like automatically hang up on you.
Oh, really? This one didn't. This one
I've had that happen to me before, where it was like an automated thing, and I got so frustrated. I'm like, "You motherfucker!" And it's like, I'm like, "Wait, what? Hello?"
Oh wow, that's shit, man. I need to try that. My trick is you tell them it's a business line. You're like, "Oh no, this is a business line. You can't call this number." And they're like, "Sir, it's not a business line." Like, it's a business line. And they hang up.
I just don't even answer the phone if I don't know who it is.
I don't usually answer the phone because like no one calls me. If someone's calling me, it's either bill collector, spam, or someone's dead, and I can find out later what's going on.
Unless I have you saved my phone. What are we doing?
Jesus Christ.
Are you like way like, do you answer your phone a lot, Dave? Or you're like, how do you not answer your phone? Jesus Christ, who are
Dave's like more in the world than we are. Like we work from home and we have these fucking nerds.
Dave's like, I've known Tony for years. I didn't know this motherfucker didn't answer his cell phone.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, we talk all the time.
We talk all the time. We talk today on the phone. We talk all the time.
Nice.
Constantly.
Yeah. Sorry, so you answer for some people. I don't answer for anybody. Usually my phone doesn't make noise, because if my phone makes noise, it's terrible.
Oh, if I have you saved in my phone, I pick it up right away because I know who you are. And
nice.
Yeah.
I don't do that to people.
I just don't like hearing it. It's funny because like I don't mind.
On silent. My shit's always on silent. So it's like if it's on, you're lucky if it's on vibrate, then I can hear it vibrate on the table or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's not, it never rings.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I just don't. I love staring at it and looking at stuff and watching short videos. But if I'm doing something else, like I don't want my phone to make any fucking noise. Yeah. I also used to think that set me apart when I was like in like when I was dating a lot, because I like never busted out my phone, and I was like, one day I'm gonna go on a date and someone's gonna be like, man, that guy didn't look at his phone once, and I'm pretty sure all that happened was like, wow, this guy didn't look at his phone once. He has no friends, and I feel like that's how that played out, because it just it's like people want you to like he looked at his phone a little bit, but not a lot. Like I just kind of wanted to know that like people wanted to talk to him. I don't know, like oh, it's fucking stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm older than you. I come from a different generation, so I don't.
And you're both married.
I'm not married.
I thought you were married.
No, I'm married to my work.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I'm married to my wife. I was like, what? Go to hell, Tony.
No, I'm single. I've been single for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you had. Yeah, all right, cool. I had this whole narrative invented about you in my head. Apparently, that's all false.
I would take a shirt off, but like I would definitely.
Like it wasn't bad. It was just like you were just happy in a different way. I don't know, or maybe not happy. I don't know, man. I don't know you at all. I feel like I don't know you at all. Let's start this 2 hour and 40-minute interview over and just get to know Tony Gregori.
I'm 47 years old and I live in Missoula, Montana with a dog, and that's
a very adorable, photogenic dog that dog's living its life. Like that dog is you're like us, man. Or we spoil the shit out of our dogs, and so like our dogs they have good lives.
Yeah, she actually
like Dave does with cats. Then he gives them away. I don't know how you do that, man. I don't know how you take them in and kind of fall in love with them, and then
keep them public, you know.
I don't make the decisions. That's why.
Oh, I don't make decisions either.
Yeah, my wife
for
does.
anything, but I don't. Yeah. I guess that's why I don't have like 10 cats and 5 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's exactly why. Someone's keeping you in check.
That is correct.
How does that work though? Like, are you part of an organization and you offer like your home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of taken a step back because the last cat was rough.
Oh.
Just because like I liked it a whole lot.
Oh,
I wanted to keep it. And I don't know.
Is that the tabby?
Yeah.
Man, he's a cute little fucker.
Wascal with a W.
Yeah, but he's got a good home. So
yeah, maybe.
Wow. Whoa. All right. Well,
see, that's the other thing is that like these motherfuckers, they don't keep they don't keep up with communication and like let us know that everything's okay. Or I mean, I guess they of course don't have to, but
how many emails have you sent these people since they took the cat out of your house, Dave?
2.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second.
Nobody responded. No response. Nothing.
That's fun. I've had a few English Mastiffs, and if you want an English Mastiff as a puppy, you got to get them from a breeder. They're large breed dogs. If you want a puppy, you usually they're hard to adopt. They're usually huge by the time you adopt them. Anyway, I got my Hercules when I was younger, and he was 18 pounds when we got him, and he was 223 pounds, like at his healthiest. He's fucking huge. He's amazing. And like scared of everything, a giant like a 220-pound puppy, basically. But they told us like they were like, oh yeah, like send us pics, keep in touch. Like here's our email. Ah, there she is. Look at those ears, those fucking ears. But yeah, we sent them pics and stuff, and they never responded, so we kind of quit keeping up with them. So it was just funny. Like I was on the other side of that. Like we tried to keep in touch with the breeders, and they were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Rescue dogs typically, or house cats. Like keep them in your house, raise them, ship them out. I don't know, whatever Dave does. I don't know.
Yeah, she was my mom's.
Yeah, she came into your life. Well, you knew her, but like she came into your home later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. After my parents passed, like my mom rescued her, and then she passed, and then a couple years later, my dad passed. So
and you took her.
Went down and got her. Brought her up here. So
yeah, because you were given her CBD for her like spine issues, right?
Yeah.
Because you talked to me about that when my pity started having some nerve issues. Like we had a conversation about that, and I was like, because you were like, I thought it was kind of a joke because I was like, what do we do? Like we're just giving these dogs weed, and you were like, no, dude, it's like, don't be that guy. It's actually like for real. And I was like, okay. I was like, sorry, but one day we did give her.
It's not psychoactive, you know.
No, but it definitely makes them sleep if you give them too much of it. Like when we were,
you don't want to give them. Yeah, you don't want.
When we were adjusting the dosage, like we didn't really know, you know, because she was in a lot of pain. She was hurting, and so the first couple days, yes, but the first couple days she just slept because we gave her, we accidentally gave her too much. We were trying to like balance it out, but yeah, it totally helped, and we were going to the CBD like. All the CBD places, like Petco sells it too, but like you can even go to like the human CBD places now, and they have like a pet section with like chews and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, because there's like I give her the CBD that I use because there's not a lot of oils in it. There's some stuff that's bad for dogs. The stuff I use is all natural.
Okay,
so and she only gets like she's so small. She gets like just the tiniest drop.
Yeah,
like not even a full drop, like a half of a drop that I would give myself. And then I would take like 3 or 4 drops. You know, if I were to take it. So I give her like half of a full drop.
Okay.
And I put it on top of a dollop of her food, her wet food, and then she eats it, and then she'll fucking zonk out. And then, you know, wakes up and she's feeling spry, you know, her back feels loose and
nice.
She's not, you know, I don't have to give her drugs and stuff like that, like anti-inflammatories that are bad for her.
Yeah.
Intestines and whatnot. So.
Yeah, you're not like loading her up with steroids and shit. Yeah. Like, that's, yeah, she looks happy. I mean, I'd be happy if someone was dumping CBD oil all over my dinner too.
Dude, her human like works from home all day. Just hangs out with her all day. Like,
yeah. That's how Bruce is. Like Bruce is so slow because we make his food. So like he eats like turkey and carrots and sweet potatoes and brown rice. Like we make his food, and we make his treats. Like he eats these like frozen watermelon yogurt treats and like. He eats blueberries. He's fucking such a spoiled piece of shit. I love him, but it's crazy, man. He loves people so much, but people don't understand. You know, like they come over and they're like, "Hey, your dog's in my face," and it's just like he'll calm down in 10 minutes. That's a long 10 minutes if you're like not a dog. You know, like if this dog's like all over you and you're just like. Dude,
she's the same way. She's just small, you know. Like she gets so excited when she sees people, and she just starts barking and going crazy and jumping up. And
he's like he like jumps up on the couch and he like hangs out on top of the couch like a cat and like perches up there and like looks down. I don't know, man, he's fucking. But we got him like CBD chews that are supposed to be calming chews for like when people come over. And I mean, dude, we had a party. We gave him 5 of these motherfuckers. And he like slept for 15 minutes until a couple people came over, and then he was in dog party mode. And I was like, "What? He's a monster, Tony! Like he just has so I've never seen an entity with so much energy. Even when we try and drug him,
I gotta let this one out because she's going crazy.
No, we gotta let all of us out. It's been a while. Real quick, guys, let everybody know, Tony, best place to follow you at these days, keep track of you online.
I am on Twitter at Tony Gregori, TonyGregori. I am on Blue Sky at Tony Gregori, the same. And then on Instagram, I'm Tony Gregori, but it's spelled TOEKNEE. So Tony Gregori. Yep. And I'm also there's a link to my Tumblr, which is on my Twitter profile.
Tumblr's still around?
Yeah, and I post a lot of art on there. So if you want to check out my art, you can pretty much just go to my Tumblr through my Twitter, and I post stuff on there that I don't post anywhere else.
If you would have told me that after 3 hours of interviewing Tony Gregori, I found out that Tony Gregori was still on Tumblr, I would not have told you. I thought that's where this conversation was going to go. That's cool though.
Yeah, well, it's a good place to keep work up, you know. Especially with everything as
all the works.
Yeah.
All the works.
Post stuff up there. So it's almost like
get that work. Put that work
portfolio, you know.
Nice. God damn it, Dave.
David Crispino everywhere.
I didn't even ask you. You just went from
David Crispino everywhere. You could go everywhere and just type my name in, and I'm there.
He's there. He's there waiting.
You can
waiting
even go to davidcrispino.com and you can find a free
davidcrispino.com.
davidcrispino.com.
You can go over there to that website there, and you can get yourself a free Taft Sturgeon #1 on a digital.
Get a hoagie.
Don't even have to pay taxes for it.
No taxes.
You ever hoagie to go down to the shore, get you a comic.
You can come in the ocean with me, and we can eat crabs if you want. But
get the Ravens game, go Lamar.
Yeah,
Lamar.
Go O's, go Birds.
Joe Flacco eat shit. Joe Flacco sign with the Browns. What are you doing?
So you could go David Crispino everywhere, and I'm there. But please just go to the Kickstarter and get our book.
Please buy the book.
But also, like, if you want to know more about Taft, you can go to davidcrispino.com and download the Taft one shot for free. Give that a read. If you like it, you're definitely going to like the new one. So you guys should check it out. It's a great comic. You know, all ages comics are important. We need to get them. The cigarette company did it, but comic books need to do it better. You got to get them when they're young and keep them reading. And except this won't kill them. You know, it's just,
holler at your boy.
Makes their brain better. So yeah, Tony's got to let his dog out. Dave's wife got mad at us like 3 hours ago. I don't even know. She was like slamming doors and mad, and she was like, "Dave's never making another comic again with Tony. I can't deal with this shit. This press tour that you guys are putting them on.
That's great.
I'm just real sorry to everybody. Sorry for being late tonight. Sorry for being me. Sorry for. I'm just sorry. Sorry. Trying to make it. Just sorry. I'm so sorry. I had sour candies.
Oh, that was a new face.
No human has ever seen that before. All right.
All right, guys.
That's good. I want when you think of that face, think of Kickstarter. Go there, pledge, get some Taft Sturgeon in your life. Have a happy holiday. December is going. Follow these guys. Keep track of what they're doing. They're making great comics, and they're out there ready for you. All you guys got to do is click on some links and get them. Both of you, thank you so much. I really do fucking love you both. I love your show. Love what you bring to the industry, and you guys make me laugh. You make good.
And
comics.
We're on Wine and Comics pairing next.
Yeah, you guys. Next Monday they're gonna have another good show on Wine and Comics pairing.
Just keep following us around.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll go in there and fall off the wagon.
I don't like wine.
Yes, ruining lives, one comic at a time.
I actually had some wine at Tim Daniel's house for Christmas. I hadn't drank in a couple of years.
That was so crazy when you always think it's gonna hanging out with Tim Daniels for the holidays.
It's like Welch's grape juice, and it never does. And I just get
love it. A nice Pinot Noir.
Nah. I want to get into wine. I just don't get it.
It's not
nice. The older I get, it's nice.
I really don't like any of it. I like how it makes me feel after I have.
I like it when you're eating with a big meal with family and friends. It's like festive to me in the holidays. It's cold outside here. It's like snow.
Yeah,
it's like it being in the Buca de Beppo. You know what I'm saying?
All right, everybody who's still hanging out, thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Really, like, there's people that are watching this later. There's links in the description to help you get to Kickstarter. Follow these guys. Check out Taft Sturgeon. I promise you won't be disappointed if you do any of these things. Thank you so much. We'll be back with something. I don't know. December's kind of thin, and I'm not mad about it, but we'll probably have another show before the year's over. Yeah, I know. We gotta go. Everybody, thank you, and good night.
Fins up.
It's Blake's Buzz Live.
How long were you waiting to do that?
Very end, baby.
Like I lost it.